Hey, there we go. Music down. Great. And we're live. Welcome, folks. We're going to be building a VZ bot today. Starting the VZ bot build. Get to pulling up the instructions. All right. I got the instruction page pulled up here. And I'm going to do something real quick. We are working with a Mellow kit. I know we're going to be dividing up the audience pretty hard today, unfortunately. I believe the maintainer of Octoprint is on the West 3D podcast at 10 a.m. Grant, I believe, is live now, the exact same time that I am. So, you know, is what it is there, that dividing up time. So anybody who just decides to join in, hang out, welcome. Hello. Thanks for being here. We got Hobo Banana in the house. Jose, Robot Overlord, Maker Viking. How's it going? Tired. Just woke up, really. I mean, I've been up for like an hour getting ready, but start of my day, so. But Dark Third Dimension in the house. Welcome, welcome. But overall, it's going to be a good day, I think. Carrie, you did not miss the start. Welcome in. Zachary Taylor, it's okay. I like you better. Well, I'm not playing favorites, but I appreciate that a favorite is me. All good. Been looking forward to this. Yeah, me too. I really want to get this thing built. I hope this goes smoothly. We shall see. Where the heck? I was trying to grab the link, but I don't see it. Ooh, what is that board? Normally it's the middle of the night. Yeah, that's why I do Sunday morning streams, is specifically because I know for a lot of folks this is the middle of the night. Or my other stream time is the middle of the night, so I really appreciate creating different times. Unfortunately, this week it means a lot of overlap with some others, is what it is. Okay, I want to grab a link quick. There it is. So this, God damn it. You know, an absolute pet peeve, a complete pet peeve, is when you're trying to copy something on a web page, or, you know, whatever. You're looking for one specific thing on a web page, and just when you find it, the web page finishes loading and everything shifts. I was just copying text, and just as I was about to right click and hit copy, it shifted and I got a whole nother paragraph that I didn't want. Anyway, Carrie, welcome to being a channel member at Lab Intern. Thank you very much for joining up as a channel member. Carrie had to rejoin for some reason. I've been hearing that a lot, and that is concerning. I was off for a month. Who the heck knows? Maybe YouTube auto kicks people. I'm just dropping the link in the chat for the kit that we are working with. That is the VZ bot from Mellow. We're building a VZ-235, so 235 millimeter build volume, the little one. I figured if we're going to be building twofold reasoning for this. There's the VZ-235 or the 330. 235 is just going to be faster. It's got shorter belt paths. No way around it. Physics and all that. It's going to be a faster machine, which is one thing that I want. Two is I'm getting bigger and bigger machines lately, and I'm really running out of space. The studio is a little bit smaller than my last one, and my last one I was out of space. So, yeah. I'm starting to look toward future builds being smaller stuff, not bigger stuff. Or like, you know, Creality has that new Ender 5 Max that people wanted me to compare the Airy One X400 against the Ender 5 Max. But then I'd have to get an Ender 5 Max, and it's just such a big machine. Like, celebrated your fiance's birthday yesterday. Tomorrow is my birthday. Oh, geez. Well, happy early birthday to Maker Viking. Congratulations, and happy birthday to your fiance as well. I'm struggling to find space for the VZ-235. Yeah, that's understandable. Don't worry, if you need to get rid of printers, I'll take them off your hands. Yeah. Yeah. That is not a concern that I have. You know, the ever-present, well, if I have to get rid of machines, I'm sure I can find people to get rid of them too. Live now. Send out the shout out on Twitter. Currently selling your Cobra 3. Well, you just got the S1 in, yeah. So I guess you don't need. I'm I'm very, very heavily considering selling my Bamboo, my X1. I don't use it anymore. I just don't use it. You know, if I want multicolor, I've got the Prusa XL. Lately, all my smaller build volume enclosed printer prints are getting done on the Core 1. One in, one out. Understandable. I probably need to get to that point. Nori is digging at things. Unfortunately, our Nori cam is charging right now, so I can't show you at the moment. All right, cool. Let's get to this thing. I wanted to start building the frame yesterday, but unfortunately, well, I got really tired. This is basically what it came down to. Last night I was exhausted, and I said, you know what? Let's do it on stream. Which reminds me, I also want to start a print on the Core 1. I'm going to print some skirt pieces for my Boron. So I'll send this to print real quick. Slicing. I guess I could do this so you folks can actually see what I'm doing, even though it's a squished window. How's your studio build coming along? I haven't worked on my studio. The last thing I did here is get the drywall up and this wall painted. That's all I've done in here in quite some time. I need to get back to working on it, but I've been busy with Ruby's Blackthorn tattoo. So, all right. I just want to send this off to print. I just need to get a couple of replacement skirt pieces printed for my 2.4 so I can get back to that as well. And off that print goes. Cool. Oh, Gene has come to say hi. Yeah. You come to yell at everybody? Hi. Yes. I'm sorry. I started stream without you. You're right. Ordered the Ender 3 NG kit. I'm hoping it's not going to be too much of a hassle with the V2 Neo. Ooh. I hope as well that it's not too much of a problem for you. I have no idea. I would worry about the extrusions, having that kind of like closed-in extrusion design that they went to. But I hope it works out for you. Yeah. Gene Bean, hi. All right. Yeah, hi, princess. Hi, baby. Ah! That camera angle's all messed up. It's outputting a LUT for some reason. Let me check a setting on that real quick. Yeah. I've got to adjust the output of this camera. Yeah, hi, baby. Yep, there it is. LUT display off. Cool. Camera menu systems are the worst. Camera menu systems are just like digging through. There we go. There's our overhead angle. Overhead-ish. Hi, Gene Bean. Hi, Gene Bean. You're stupid. Okay, okay. Okay, now we're building a VZ bot, and we need this. So kind of instruction pages, points to some of Simon's videos, but we're starting by building the side frame, which is what I've got pieces laid out for here. Hi, Gene. Hi. You're gonna chomp on my fingers the entire time. Forgot how hot beds with ABS get. Quite warm. Quite warm. Yes. My asbestos fingers are so used to it at this point. It's not that big of a deal, but yeah. Jean's either more vocal than normal, or we can hear her more than normal. You can hear her more than normal. Jean is a very vocal cat. Jean is always a very vocal cat. I think I had some noise reduction on this microphone that I turned off last stream for some reason. Because you folks... Oh, it was when I was doing the fan testing in the last stream. You folks couldn't hear until I turned off the noise reduction. And I just left it off. So you're hearing Jean more. She's just a vocal cat. She's a very vocal cat. It's actually kind of annoying at times. She wanders around the house just screeching at us. Okay. Now I got my side uprights. We are doing blind jointing, of course, on this. It's a very similar design to a Trident design. We got like a little bit lower down. We've got another pass through there for the Y gantry rails. And then blind joint some M5 screws into these. You're not helping. Bumping against my hand while I'm trying to apply Loctite is not very helpful, Gene. I'm going to line up those first side ones, the linear rail ones, the Y rail pieces. There's also some printed guide pieces for the Y rails. Let me get this started and then I'll show you. Hi, Gene Bean. There's these printed guide pieces that you use to set the... Let's get this somewhere where you can actually see it. So it sets the height from the top frame rail to the Y rail with these printed pieces. The VZ instructions show some type of guide clip things for the blind jointing. However, I don't see them in the Mellow kit. I don't know if that's something that they do differently, like the main VZ, like bomb that's not included with the VZ kit. I don't know. Hope I'm not missing something, but I could probably... Let me show you what I'm talking about. General info. I think it was general info. No. Gene, come on, baby. All right, you gotta get down. Miscellaneous info, blind joints. There we go. Yeah, they show these joint plates here, which I just don't have. I don't know. I don't see them in Mellow hardware anyway. So, don't know. We're moving on without them. Which, realistically, these are M5 button head screws. That's how I build all machines, is M5 button head screws directly into extrusion, so I don't really see a conflict or a conflict of interest, a problem there. So I don't know. We're going to find out. All right. Now I need one more top piece. What size are these? These are 375 millimeters. 375 millimeters. Get on the RH3D Discord. I know a couple of people have used the Ender 3 Neo. Okay, cool. I hate to play with Discord, you know, round and round. Let me see if I can grab the Discord link. Oh, wow, I suddenly got a headache out of nowhere. That was weird. Already lurking. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. You got it. Do you ever use square washers for blind joints? No. No. There's very limited space inside of an extrusion between the button head and the... Yeah, like there is barely 2 millimeters, it looks like, of clearance once you slide a button head inside of a blind joint. I don't really see much space in there for that. It looks like the ones that they showed a picture of are like sheet metal, like not even, you know, like 0.8 millimeter or something, you know, very thin. Okay. Oh. All right, I got to tighten up. One of these screws is holding me up here. Where are my hex wrenches? There they are. 2.5 or 3 mil? It's probably 3 mil. 3 mil. Just looking to see if the Core 1 started printing yet. It did not. 3D Medic Vince, welcome in. Hello. This hardware box is in my way. All right. Will you be putting Goliath in this? Yes, this is getting Goliath. We are building a bog standard VZ-235. So it's getting all-wheel drive, air-cooled everything, with a Goliath hot end, the full VZ tool head, CNC, all components, not printed or extrusion parts for any of the parts that are that way, like, you know, CNC aluminum, so parts. But there's a link pinned in chat. That is the Mellow kit. This is a Mellow kit. Mellow provided this kit for this project. Thank you to them. But yeah, that's the kit we're using, and we're building it as the kit comes. I do intend to mod this. I'm going to water cool. I'm going to do all kinds of stuff. But for right now, I'm building it stock. 48 volt motors, 2504s, the speedy LDO motors. So it's not exactly like stock on this kit is particularly anything to sneeze at. Back to what I was doing here. Okay, now is where I want to get the overhead-ish angle. So this is a side of this machine. So we start with two sides and then bring them together. So this is one of the sides. I'm going to square up the top because I've got these printed parts I mentioned earlier, and these set the distance for this Y rail off the top. So obviously I need to square up the top before I can get to that Y rail. Or this one's closer to me. Maybe I'll just start with the bottom. Use a 1, 2, 3 block to square in this corner. I'm going to use a second 1, 2, 3 block to keep it from sliding down. Maurice, 9 months. Channel member for 9 months now. Thank you very much for the support, Maurice. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. It's a busy Sunday morning on 3D Printing YouTube, so. Yeah, tightening that. Tightening that, it really started to rock away on me. I'm gonna go to the other side. So much jean hair on the bench. This is all gonna be like a jean hair off. Nori, stop. Nori is not pleased with me at the moment. Ruby's out of town, so I have to watch Nori. Why can I not get on this screw? What the hell? It's out of, how? Oh, it's just out of alignment enough. Was just out of alignment enough. Washers? There's no washers in use in blind joints. Or any blind joint machine I've used, there aren't any washers. The instructions kind of show some, but I don't seem to have them in my kit, so. All right. Yeah, so Nori didn't get as much exercise this morning as she probably should have before stream started. And unfortunately, god damn it, this keeps walking. This corner wants to walk on me. As I tighten it, it does that cam out thing where the screw grabs and slides just a little bit. And then once it slides, it becomes difficult to get on with a wrench. Oh, wow, my shoulder just popped trying to loosen that. Nori, stop. And of course, I'm acknowledging her, which only makes it worse. Okay, let's try this again. I think it walked again. Yep. Fuck, it keeps walking. I think I've got one of those VZ corner tools. I've never used it, but I think I have one. And that would really help right now. Question is, do I have any idea where it is? There it is. I think this is a 1515 one. I think this is a 1515 version. It is. Dang it. So this is one of those, it's a CNC machined corner piece that you can use to line up corners, but it's for 1515. That's no use. That's no help to me. Will be the next time I build a V0, but I haven't built a V0 in a while, so. Ow. My everything hurts. Good morning, Armor 3D Printing. Good morning. I wish I could show what's happening here, but I'm going to leave this corner for the moment and move on and see if the rest of it is kind of tightening up. Clamps with the 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Problem is then clamps get interfering with everything. Let me grab a clamp. A couple of clamps. Studio's a mess right now because I've been like hauling things in and out of here going to Ruby's studio. So it's just such a cluster of mess. Oh, I just noticed my welding helmet fell off the multi-board. Huh. One of the multi-board hooks must have broken or something. My welding helmet fell off the wall. It's not even, that's probably one of the lightest things I had hanging up on the multi-board too. Where the heck? I have no idea where any of my clamps are right now. There's no way I took them all to the studio. But the spot where they usually are, there are no clamps. What a disaster. I've really got to clean this space up this week. Let's see if I can't grab another clamp. Well, we're going to do a vice grip clamp. I don't know if these ones are going to go big enough, but we're going to find out. We're going to vice clamp it. Vice grip clamp it. No burrs. I did not see any burrs. Okay. Now, hard part of this is going to be getting... One is going to be seeing if this clamp goes big enough. These C-clamp ones don't love to go that big. It's going to do it. Oh, my shoulder is angry. Why is my shoulder so angry? Okay. There's one. Now I need the thing I need more. What I really need, the problem is that this extrusion here keeps sliding up and down. So I really need this clamp. I don't know if it's going to go that big because I got two 123s and a 2020 extrusion in there. It's not going to go that big. Stand the block on its end. Yeah, that's a good point. I might have to stand the other one as well. Nope. That worked. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right, tighten. Holding downward pressure on this while I'm doing so. All right, let's loosen that and see how. Hey, look at that. Now that feels good. Now that feels good. The other one, the other side, turned out fine. So the other side turned out fine. I'm going to give it a little bit of a tighten, see if it walks on me. Nope. Nope, other side's fine. Cool. Yep. All right, now we can move on to top. Steve, welcome in. Welcome in, Steve. Came in just in time to catch us playing around with clamps. All right, I'm going to do the same thing. No reason to even mess around. Let's just do the same thing at this top corner. Oh, now I can tighten this one because I stood up the block. Now I can tighten this because I stood up the block. All right. All right, all right, all right. We can tighten that. Live notification on Discord. That's a good point. The Discord notification went out last night, but I should have done a live now notification. Good call. Hey, Steve coming in with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Steve, for gifting memberships. We got Armor 3D Printing. We got Kali, Kittrell, Everwine, Professor Sleep, and Ken E. all getting channel memberships. Thank you, Steve, for gifting those. Where's Discord? I don't have Discord up right now. Well, whatever. Yeah, that's part of the problem is I like giving advance notice on Discord, but then not giving immediate notice is also a thing. Live now. Announce. Dang it. I finger slipped and fat fingered it. Trying to, some reason finding the announcement like tag doesn't work well on Discord. Like if I just type stream, it doesn't find the folks who sign up for stream announcements. I have to search announcement. There we go, stream announcements. Okay. Now there's a shout out. Cool. Fabrico, welcome in, Fabrico. Welcome, welcome. Who's behind the keyboard today? All right, let's go to this next corner. And then we're ready to set our Y rail. That's not what I wanted. Is this the clamp I wanted? No, this is, right? No. Okay. I'm confusing myself as to which clamp is which. Oh. Holy delayed Discord notification. Huh? Well, see, it's a good thing I did that then. Yeah, Maurice called me out for not sending a Discord notification. Sorry. I've been trying to do them in advance, but tag them, Amanda? What do you mean tag them? Oh, tag the clamps. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna need them again. Here, I'll just write on them. It'll wipe off. Cool. Glad to see you streaming again. Thank you, Thunder Keys. Thank you for being a channel member for 9 months now. Very much appreciated. Fabrico sent 10 gifted memberships. Thank you to Fabrico for the support as always. Mark Henderson, 3D Experiments, Charlie Levin, Mrs. Lee Murray, 3D, Jeremy, Donald Sayers, Clifford Hopkins, Yuri, sorry on that one, Jason, KB1, WSE, and Mr. Jalapeno, that's a funny way of spelling that, all became channel members. I need some aluminum blocks like these. These are machined steel, but it would be nice to have them in aluminum, I guess. Something like this, I would worry about leaving impressions in the aluminum over time, but well, here, now that I'm thinking about it, Amazon. 1, 2, 3 blocks. I use 1, 2, 3 blocks. All right, thank you for stopping by, Fabrico. Appreciate it. And thanks for dropping the gifted memberships on the way. There. I just dropped a link for 1, 2, 3 blocks. These are nothing special. Don't get me wrong, you can get much nicer 1, 2, 3 blocks for much more money, but I just get Amazon special ones. For what we're doing, they are perfectly fine. And yeah, that's what I use. I use them for all kinds of stuff. I mean, they're handy for this, squaring up corners and checking things for square, but they're also... Oh, dang it. That is the link to the stream. Ay. It's the last thing I copied before I tried to copy this. There's the 1, 2, 3 block link. There we go. Cool. All right. Live stream, yeah. Sunday morning stream. Hopefully we will be back to this properly, regularly scheduled programming from here on. Okay, now I've got to set this distance for this Y rail. So this is where the Y MGN 12s are going to be. It's one of the unique things about the VZ bot. The Y rails are MGN 12s, and the X rail is MGN 9. I'm sure to reduce weight. I'm sure I would assume is the logic there. All right, I'm gonna get this clamp in position. I've got these to set my distance. And then I'm just gonna clamp this. Side clamp. All right, 1. Anzi, off to put the kids to sleep. All right, thanks for stopping by. Hope they lay down and get down quick for you. Okay, I'm gonna grab another pair of clamps quick. I don't want to adjust this clamp because I've already got that at a set setting. I'll grab a couple more. vice grip clamps. Now, grabbing any more than one more is going to be a hassle. I got a big wrought iron fence on that side of the studio I'd have to move. We'll search for something similar in Amazon Spain. I'll be building a Voron 2.4 Rev D. Is it bad to use thread locker for every screw? I use thread locker for every screw. The only thing you're going to run into is ASA and ABS don't love thread locker. There is some thread locker that is safe on those materials, but it's not the stuff that I use. The standard blue is not. The standard Permatex blue is not. That said, I still use it when I'm going into printed parts, just if it's going into a threaded insert, into a heat press insert. And I try to minimize getting thread locker on the printed part. It'll cause the part to deteriorate over time, which can lead to cracked parts eventually. Thread locker red if you're really confident. No. Into brass and aluminum parts, do not do that. But I forget what the other there is another brand of thread locker that's supposedly safe. I think the Armchair Engineering Discord has the info on it, if I remember right. Or I'm sure somebody on the Voron Discord does too. Why is this one not wanting to clamp? I might be overrunning the capacity of this clamp. I think I am. Dang it, this is an older one. It's an older one, so it doesn't want to go as big. Yep. Stay. Okay. Vibratite VC6 is specially made to be plastic paddle. That's it. Vibratite. You're right. That's it. Mammut. Vibratite. That's the one I was thinking of. That said, I still just use Permatex Blue. I just do my best to be careful on getting it on printed parts. So, is the stick thread locker as good as the bottle one? I like the stick better because it's a whole lot less mess, but I find it doesn't go as far. I don't know why. One of these bottles lasts me a lot longer than the stick does, but I really like the stick because, like, the stick, I can just have a stick on the bench and I can just grab a screw and I can just, quickly dab a little on the stick. Do not use VC3. Oh, VC3. I was like, you just said VC6. You said VC6, not VC3. Don't use VC6. It's not good on plastic. Okay. All right, let's get this tight. So, I don't entirely love using purely printed parts for this to set this distance. I'm going to check it with calipers then. You know what I should have done, I'm going to do in a second, is have the CAD model pulled up. I'm going to pull that up right now. While that's loading, I'll check the measurements here. Like 79.6 on this end. And yeah, like 79.7 on this end. That's what I was afraid of. Layout grid. Yeah. 3D printer builds. I'm just going to take a minute for this project to load on this computer. Full printer projects on this computer are a little bit heavy on it. So I get this pulled up so I can check the distance. I'm going to guess it's 80 millimeters. This is supposed to be down, not 79.6 or 79.7. I'm probably running into a material shrinkage issue on a guided piece, which is a problem you're going to have with guided pieces. 3D print pieces, I mean. What changes did you make to the printed bits? We can talk about that a little bit as I get the printer project pulled up here. I like Vibratite because it doesn't harden all the way and turn to dust. All right, that's good to know. visual style, shaded with visible edges. All right. I'm gonna have to move this. Let me switch screens here. Infinite me. This is not what you're looking for. Let me scale and transform. Fit to screen. That's better. Cool. And move myself over here. Great. Okay. So here is the VZ bot that we are building, the CNC version VZ bot. What I've changed. I really have not made many changes to the printed parts. There's also not a lot of printed parts on this project because this is the CNC version. So we've got CNC motor plates, CNC, gantry mounts. A lot of this is CNC aluminum, CNC bed mounting. So there's not a ton of printed parts. Things I've changed, I know for sure. It doesn't look like it in this printed part. You know what? I might have changed that outside of here. I pulled out a lot of components and changed them outside of this so I wasn't bogging things down. I made some changes to this tube for the CPAP here. So the CPAP cooling for part cooling, I made some minor printability changes to this. I made some changes to this CPAP muffler thing. See if I can open that project quick. This is one of the ones I made slightly more drastic changes to. This piece here is a gasket that I made that goes between the back panel here and the CPAP motor fan. Where is it? It's hiding on me right now. Is it probably in electronics? CPAP tube, electronics back panel, CPAP muffler. I'm hiding them. There it is, CPAP fan mount. Boom, okay. So I made a TPU gasket that mounts between this panel and this thing just to isolate the CPAP fan a little bit. And no. I also made a TPU gasket that goes around the inlet to this so that the muffler piece that goes inside of there doesn't vibrate. This is purely stuff that I just kind of saw and thought that could be an issue. Whether or not it will be, I don't know. I could be wrong. Yeah, it gets this tube. This is the muffler tube, which is basically like a glass pack muffler inside with a whole bunch of holes. And that's the idea, is it reduces the noise level of this thing. So I also made this like TIE fighter looking entry to it. This was just an open hole by default. I did that so it couldn't suck in any plastic gunk or spaghetti. If I get a spaghetti print, I don't want the CPAP pulling it in. So this is kind of like a built-in grill that I made to it. And yeah, that's pretty much what I did with that. Most of the other stuff is just printability tweaks. Is really minor printability tweaks. I made the RCS, this black and red here on the side auxiliary part cooling. I can't see chat right now. I'm sorry if anybody's chatting. I can't see it at the moment. This I made actually inserts that I glued in. So mine is red and black. Mine actually is red and black and not multicolored. It's just two-piece printed. So why did I come in here? Oh, to check the distance on this rail. So I want to check from the top of here to the top or to the bottom side of this extrusion. 90 degrees, that's not helpful. Oh, it's because I've selected the wrong. 80 millimeters, that's what I expected. Okay. Okay. All right, back to main view. The Shrimp Father, welcome in. All-wheel drive. Yes, we are building all-wheel drive. Struggling for a second there. Fusion might be causing that. Could be. Fusion loads up the memory on this computer, especially when I have a full printer project like this open. So, could be. Yeah. Glass pack muffler is an oxymoron. You would think that, but it's not. You would think that. It does something, you know. How much? Okay, so I'm off by 0.4 and 0.3 millimeters. The Mellow kit does come with LDO motors. It comes with LDO 2504, so speedy motors. They're buried further down in the box. Hopefully we'll get to those yet. It does come with them though. Yeah, it's not that much. Should I go chasing that 0.4, 0.3 millimeter? Basically, it's these printed standoffs that got printed, shrunk ever so slightly, is all it is. Yeah, these are 79.5 millimeter when they should be 80. I'm gonna check the printed part, or the, not the printed part, the 3D model, the STL, that's what I mean. I do not like that these parts are not oriented. Simon, your part should be oriented. Yeah, my truck has a glass pack on it. It's very apparent that my truck was like, the guy I bought it from, I think it was his kid's truck. It's got like a 3.5, yeah, it's 80 millimeters, so it's shrinkage. It is a shrinkage issue I'm running into. Well, I mean, it's tighter to the top, so I'm gaining build volume, right? I just gained 0.4 millimeter build volume. Do I care? I don't think I care. As long as the rail is largely even from end to end, I don't think I care. But that does mean I need to check shrinkage values on this material. As long as it's consistent, yep, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Is that sticking down ever so slightly? This, I need like a granite plate for this table or something. I think this sunk, yeah, I can feel it. It's just ever so slightly sunken down. Okay, I'm about to make a racket. 1 second. Where's my hammer? The world's most pathetic hammer. Unflat tables are my worst enemy. Yeah, I really, yet this spring, I'm going to take this entire top off of this, and I'm going to take it to a local woodworking shop and have them drum sand it flat. And then I want to get, what I really want to get is like a phenolic top for this entire thing. So one piece of phenolic, but I need a flat base for that to stick to. So, all right, loud noise for a second. I'm going to turn the mic off. That did it. Gene is running for the hills. That was loud. So Gene's like, I am out of here. So, yeah. That's a technique. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. Cool. We got one side now. On to the second side. Yeah. The Formica tops are easy to apply and pretty... Oh, music. Music's too loud. Music loud, yeah. Formica tops. Yeah, I considered just doing like a laminate Formica, but I want something that's going to have a little more rigid structure to it. And like say a 1/2 inch thick piece of phenolic will have actual thickness, strength to it, and should actually provide some nice flatter surface to work with, theoretically. Phenolic is also wicked expensive, at least in the size that I need. This is like 6 foot by 3 foot concrete. Oof, yeah. All right, let's grab our other side pieces. Cool. Okay. It's also little bits of like jean hair and stuff on the table. It's not helping. I also, the other thing that I need to do with this, because these butcher blocks warp over time as they dry. So when I take it off of here, I'm going to take it to a woodworking shop. I got to find a woodworking shop that has at least a 36-inch drum sander. Sand it flat. Then I need to flip it over, channel in like 4 grooves in the bottom of it, and put steel reinforcement beams, C-channels, in the underside of it to keep it like rigid over time. You can always use marble quite flat. Again, money. If I could, I would. I'd love to. You know, if I could, I'd just get a granite top for this, but and heavy. I'm not worried about heavy. Like this flexi spot desk is plenty strong. Brian, I have a 1.5 inch piece of granite, 8 inches wider than my VCore 4.5. Way too heavy to handle, but also damn flat. Yeah. In the last studio, I had a piece of granite large enough to do like a 300 millimeter frame on, but moving cross country, it just, I couldn't justify it. I was like, more than likely it's going to get broken in the trip. There was actually a granite shop right around the corner from my first house in Philadelphia, and that's where I got it. It was just an offcut scrap. What flexi spot legs do you use? These are the quad legs. This is the E7 Pro or E7 Plus. I forget which it is. So the desk is the E7 something, the 4 legs. So it's got 4 legs for stability, and it's really rock solid. Yeah, this is the 4-leg version, not the cantilever one. I had the cantilever one in the last studio with a slightly smaller butcher block on top of it, and I had no problems. It was less stable than this, but it was still plenty stable for my liking, but it was less stable than this. Okay. Get some screws in this. Now we just got to repeat the same thing we did in the last step. Same thing we did last time, we just got to repeat. Where are my instructions? I want to grab something real quick. I've got 2 of this desk. I have one in my office as well, the 4-leg version. The one in my office has like a 24-inch by like 48-inch top on it. It's ridiculous. It's silly, but it works great. There it is, E7 Plus. Got it. Dropping a link in chat. This is the bench I'm using. That is also an affiliate link. Seems like printed parts are required for building this kit. Is there a printed forward? There is a printed forward for VZ kits. It is called Easy VZ. Nope, that's Goliath Hotend. On there, I'll drop their docs. Easy VZ. So, yeah. It exists. I've been debating, I need just complete transparency with you folks. I'm not making enough money lately, and 2025 has been off to a pretty slow start, especially with working on Ruby's studio, like unpaid labor, basically for a month, has not been great for me. I'm not complaining, I'm not begging, blah, blah, blah. I'm just stating. I've been debating whether or not I should like join the Print It Forward program and maybe easy VZ, and like I've got machines. Why not like, you know, a few dollars here and there coming in of produce some printed parts for people. In part two, because I've seen some people get screwed by the print. I have a friend in England who got Print It Forward parts for his Voron 2.4, and they did not follow Voron spec at all. And I'm really honestly pretty upset with that on their behalf. Like, why would you join the Print It Forward program and then just ignore Voron spec? Why? Because you can make money and, you know, it's cheaper to not follow the spec, but like, pisses me off. Anyway, I've debated, you know, some way to bring in a little additional revenue. Not like it's really going to be that much, but these are 385s. I need 375s, right? 375s, so. Are these are 375s? These look longer. Nope, these are more 385s. So I got a stack of 385s, but I'm missing two 375s. If that was actual pig, you should tell Doc about it. You know, it's been months, year since they got the stuff. Like, PIP or PIF, you mean? Yeah. If they got it from Print It Forward, they should report it with the supplier. If they do not help, they should reach out to the Voron Discord. I think Doc, he's in charge of Print It Forward. Yeah, I agree, but I'm annoyed on their behalf. So it's like whisper down the lane stuff. Like, he showed me pictures. They were like two walls and like 30% or 20% infill. Like, because he was doing a rebuild. He's been doing an overhaul at the same time that I've been doing an overhaul on mine. And he found a couple of cracked parts and he started like pulling them apart and looking inside, and it's like, these are not Voron spec at all. Yeah. Where the heck? I'm missing two extrusions. I'm missing two extrusions. I like that the gantry comes assembled on this. Where the heck are those two extrusions? Sure, they weren't printed by Seabor. That is what I would expect from Seabor, because that's what I've gotten from Seabor before. But yeah, just bought an E7 Plus with your link. Been eyeing it anyway. Awesome. Thank you very much for the support, Robin. Appreciate that. And Hagantic, sorry, coming in with the 5 gifted memberships. That is very much appreciated. Dot Mammoot, Kenneth Davis, Master Moon, TJL, and Dennis Huangat. Channel memberships thanks to Hagantic. Thank you for the support. Appreciated. And Zachary Taylor became a channel member. Thank you, folks. Really missed the streams. Well, I'm really want to get back into a consistent schedule. I told Ruby that moving forward, I've got to stick to a stream schedule. We had to get past getting her studio to a certain point. We've reached that now. I've still got a lot of work to do over there, but now I can step away enough to get back to a regular stream schedule. I've also got so many projects that I'm backed up on. Okay, there's panels. I think that's the bottom of the box. What the heck? Did I misplace a couple of extrusions? I must have. Or they must be hiding somewhere, but I'm not seeing them. So there's the pre-assembled gantry. Studio video came out nice. Thank you. I appreciate that, because that video has been flopping hard. I honestly expected that video to do decently, and it's been doing really, really badly. That's the ever-present, if any YouTuber tells you they know what video is going to do well, they're lying. Because there is just no predicting what videos are going to do well. Honestly, the video on the X400, the Airy One big machine, has been doing better than I expected. And the video on the tattoo studio has been doing worse than I expected. I put out 2 videos in 1 week and they're just not, but neither's doing what I expected it would do. What the hell? I'm missing 2 extrusions. There's 3 of these 275 millimeter extrusions per side. I only have 4 right now. So I got this side together, but then, like that you showed how difficult the lights were to print. Yeah, I mean, that turned it, I expected that video to be like 10 minutes long when I set out to make it. And I kind of figured it might be a little boring, but then once it kind of like started to have problems and there was some things I could show. Oh, does the gantry... Dang it, you're right. The gantry does... shit. Shit. Well, and here's where the instructions aren't catching up. Because I'm on the instructions for the Mellow kit. Mellow kit instructions. The build differs from the printed version as the gantry and Z assembly is replaced by aluminum pieces. Frame. The frame is assembled through combination of blind joints. To start your build, 2 sides of the frame. The Y gantry extrusion. See, it doesn't say anything about that. You are completely correct. That is it. But this is one of those things where the instructions are not lining up with reality. All right, this must be outdated. You hear the person who converted an ender into a tattoo machine. Yeah, Emily the engineer. As somebody in the tattoo, related to the tattoo industry, I had considered doing that more than once. But yeah, Ruby and I cringed at that a little bit. Where did I just put the gantry? All right, so that is what the problem is here. The 2 that I'm missing are on the gantry. The 2 pieces I'm missing are right here on the gantry. How the heck am I supposed to do that? I am not disassembling this whole frickin' thing. This is about to get interesting. This is about to get interesting. I have to disassemble the other one I just put together now. Well, I'm glad I didn't do this. I intended to put the frame together yesterday because I think frames are kind of boring on stream personally. But this is definitely not. This is not. Okay, so you have to partially disassemble it and replace it with PLA placeholders. Yeah, I know that that's something that has been said. I know that I breezed through the instructions a little bit. Placeholder prints. Placeholder prints on the gantry will allow to ship complete. So there are printed parts on the gantry that need to be replaced. But that's not what they're talking about in the instructions. So like the placeholder prints on the gantry will allow it to be assembled. So like the printed parts, there's red printed parts on this gantry right now. They're all PLA. They're not ABS. They're not ASA. So all of those need to be replaced. Fine. I printed those. I already expect this. But my problem is these extrusions. I need these 2 extrusions that are part of this gantry right now. It does not tell you to disassemble this. I basically would have to tear the entire thing down to get those out of there. That's hello from Kenya, East Power Engineering. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Hello from the west coast of the United States. Okay, well, I can keep bitching about it or I can do it. So let's do it. All right, so why is my camera not switching? There we go. So what I need is this extrusion right here needs to be this piece here. So I got to remove this out of here. Dot Mahmood coming in with a super chat. Much appreciated for the support. Coming in with the 1999 super chat. Let's party like it's 1999. Still say the best video of all time was the Reanimator, the one with the horror themed. Yeah, I miss doing skits. For a while there, I wanted to intro every video with a skit. And there was a short period of time there. Reanimator fell within that time where I did a little skit as the intro to each video. And thank you. I appreciate that because that was a conscious choice of something I was doing at the time. And I'm trying to think. Well, if I'm going to tear this apart, don't take the gantry apart, try to build around it. That's what I'm going to do. That is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to build around it. I am not taking this apart. But I'm trying to think through what the most logical next step is. I miss doing those skits, but they were not good for, like, people don't want to watch a skit at the beginning of every video, unfortunately. Build it on its side. That's what I need to do. Yeah. So what I need to do is I just need to I need to get some screws into this. I need to put this like this, line it up. But the problem is that it wants to fall over. Like it's, and I can't get in the corner with a 1, 2, 3 block now. Build the box, then put it in. Well, it's blind joint. Can't really do that. It's blind joint, so I can't really do that. I mean, this has to be within the frame structure. I can wait to set the spacing on it, and I think that's what I'm going to have to do. What I was just thinking, my brain's crossing up paths here. Dot Mahmood, thank you very much for the super chat. So here's my thought. I'm going to do some quick math on shrinkage calculation because I think I'm going to send the spacers to reprint to the proper dimensions. The bearing stacks on the 330 are never want to have to take that apart level. Oh boy. Sounds like the rat rig. Okay. I got to do some shrinkage calculations super quick. Load up the Excel. Funny thing, I never cared about material shrinkage till this week. It never bothered me. It was a fact of life I dealt with. I kind of designed around material shrinkage because I print with ASA so much, I'm kind of just used to it. But I've run into it twice now this week where it kind of matters. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I forget where to find the calculations for material shrinkage, but I know where I last did it, which is I let ChatGPT think for me. So I'm going to go back and find that chat and let it think for me again. Shrinkage compensation formula. I just legit asked it to, this is how I did the shrinkage calculation on the lights for the lamps for Blackthorn Tattoo. Okay. All right, I've got parts that are 79.55 millimeter after printing, should be 80 millimeter. What shrinkage compensation value do I need? I could dig around on Google finding the formula, plug in the things myself, or just go with it. Shrinkage percentage is 0.56%. Scale up to 100.56 or compensation value of 0056. I guess 0056. Okay. Anyway, now I can go into Prusa Slicer. I'm going to pull in that part. Gantry alignment pieces. Realistically, I should have 4 of these now. If I'm going to build the frame around this, I should realistically have 4 of these. I don't like that this part's not oriented. Boop. All right. Set number of instances. 4. All right. And scale them to 100.56. Did that work? I can't tell if it actually scaled. It did. Cool. Slice. And I'm going to bump it to 3 walls. Cubic infill at 20%. Oh, I only did Z. Thank you. You're right, I only did Z. I forgot that I had it unlocked because I used that to modify a part yesterday. There we go. Now they're all 100.56. Thank you. But I'm going to bump that to... I'm going to bump the Z to 12 millimeters on that part to give it just a little bit wider footprint to sit on this rail. Or maybe I won't, because that's going to bump it to a 2.5 hour print. Oh, I'm not on the speed profile. That's why. Do you use Prusa Slicer for all your printers? No, I don't. I use it for all my Prusa printers, and I'm sending us to the Prusa XL. So, 20% infill, 3 walls is probably overkill for this type of part. I could probably get away with 2. Bump it down to 2. What slicer do you use? Orca Slicer. So I use Orca Slicer and Prusa Slicer kind of interchangeably. Did that really change print time that much? Hour 23 for 2 walls. How much for 3? Hour 31. Yeah, I guess it did. Oh, let's get this preheating a while. Get the other parts off the bed that I printed last night. Parts I printed last night off the bed. There's the ones that I already printed. Yeah, I use Orca Slicer and Prusa Slicer. For the Prusa printers, I pretty much just run Prusa Slicer. It's just all around pretty seamless to work with, and I like it. Okay. I'm about to drop back down to... All right, looks like an hour and 23 minutes for this print. Is what it is. If I don't compensate, you know what? Screw it. I don't have the time for this. I'm just not going to compensate. That was kind of a waste of our time, but if I only have to print 2, it's going to save time. 41 minutes for that. So we saved 40 minutes. Screw it. Is my XL my current go-to printer? No. My current go-to printer is the Core 1. The printer I've been using the most lately is the Core 1. The XL was... my Mark IV was my go-to before the Core 1 arrived. But, yeah. What colorway for the VZ? I'm running standard red and black. So I went standard red and black on the printed parts. I usually avoid, but I haven't built any red machines yet. How many hours in the Core 1? Don't know. I'll check once this print's done. I went with Galaxy Red ASA from Polymaker, which has almost an orangish hue to it. I kind of regret going with it, honestly. It's a little orange of a red, but Yeah, but it sparkles. You can't really see it on this camera, I'm sure, but it sparkles. So I went Galaxy Galaxy Red. I did Galaxy Black too. So I did Galaxy Red and Galaxy Black Polymaker ASA for all the printed parts. So, yup. And of course I did some things where like this has got a red on the back, but it's black for the most part. Polymaker Red's muted a little bit. Honestly, it's mostly the Galaxy. The Galaxy is more muted than the regular red. It is a little muted, you're not wrong, but the Galaxy is even more so. Something about adding the sparkle, which kind of makes sense. The sparkle in it is probably, you know, white, silver, so it kind of diffuses the red, I guess. Planning on doing any mods? I am planning on doing some mods. So, mods that I plan to do. Full top hat. I plan to put a full top hat on this. I've got the, let me share the CAD real quick. Nope, that's not what I wanted. It's on printables, this mod, but so full pivoting extrusion top hat. Let's get the panels off of this. And actually, it's supposed to use gas struts for this as well. Unfortunately, I've had a hard time locating the gas struts in the US. So I'm going to do a full extrusion top hat on it. Let me switch back here and pull up the Steve and West 3D on my laptop. Yeah, it's a busy Sunday, unfortunately. It's a rather busy Sunday. So between Steve, West 3D, and Grant, it's a lot going on today. Top hat, VZ bot. There it is. So this is the top hat that I'm going to put on it. So this is the top hat. I think this is a really solid looking design from what I've seen so far. It uses bearings for the pivot point. It uses gas struts to hold the top hat up. The hard part is this person is clearly not in the US, and I've had a hard time locating these gas struts in the US. So I'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm going to put this on. I'm going to put this on. I'm going to put some LEDs in it. I'm going to water cool it. I think that's all I really know what I'm going to do for right now. And probably either put a Nevermore in, linear actuators, clipper controlled. Oh. Looking at the Core 1, looks nice, makes me think twice about my Voron. Yeah, I mean, I'm really liking the Core 1 so far. But yeah, LEDs make it faster. Oh yeah, absolutely. So honestly, the VZ bot just got so much going for it. I don't need to mod it too heavily, you know? Doesn't look like the XL started yet. I like the aesthetics of the VZ, so do I. What's the XL doing? I got, I might as well share. Appreciate connect with you. Ooh, looks like there's a new firmware version available. I'm a firmware version behind. Waiting for upload. Well, I know why. I know why. Or do I know why? No? It could be that this one's already printed. I'm going to delete this. That happens sometimes. I'm going to stop this transfer. It's clogged up right now. The printer's not starting. Why? Send to connect. Appreciate connect. I like it. I don't love it. And it definitely has room for improvement. Print now. Go. Resolving address, uploading the print. Appreciate connect. Where's the print? There it is. Waiting for upload to printer. Now the printer's going. So sometimes if you send the same print job you've already run, there's like a file naming structure issue in Prusa Connect where it gets confused. And it's like, you've already printed this. And like, no, I changed it. It's a different print. So that's a real bug, in my opinion. I think it's intended. They don't want you clogging the thing up with like the same file over and over again by accident. So it's like an intended bug, in my opinion. Anyway, I'd love to try the Core 1. Got a secondhand Cheaty +4. I just got rid of the +4. It was fine. Like I didn't dislike the printer at all. It just wasn't for me. And mine was a pre-release that still had issues. So I got it to somebody who I informed of the issues, and they can deal with it because I don't have time. Planning to rebuild 2 of my Ender 3 Pros into Trinity printers, sort of EnderWire Trident. Oh, I have not heard of Trinity. I intend eventually to build an Ender 3 NG, the next gen Ender 3. I'm going to get these screws into this gantry at the moment so we can blind joint these in. All right. I'm not familiar with Trinity. Is that a project or is it like your own thing? I know there's at least one more Core XY Ender 3 project out there, but I know also Fabrico now has Ender 3 NG kits. If you have any Ender 3 NG questions, let me know. I built 3. Cool. Trinity is a linear rail variant of the NG. Okay, cool. Started as a branch from Ender 3 NG. Okay, cool. Core 1 looks interesting, but I'm running 2 Bamboo Labs at the moment and don't have free space. Yeah. Now, like I was saying earlier in stream, I'm really considering getting rid of my X1. Like, it's purely like a sentimental concept that I don't get rid of it. And also the ever-present, like, who knows if I have a reason to make content about it, like tomorrow, having it is better than not when I need to make a video. But I really don't see myself making any more like bamboo videos. So other than, oh, okay, maybe that's why. Oh, I do not like that. I'm never going to be able to show you this, but this screw has a ton of run out. Maybe that's why that one end was fighting me on getting set up. But this screw head has a ton of run out. As I was tightening it in, I could see it. The threads look fine, but the screw head was wobbling side to side. So yeah. Let's use that screw in a different location. It'll be easier to deal with. Little dab will do ya of a Loctite. This one's better. This one's better. Would you mind giving a quick opinion on the Magneto X? I see it in the background. Magneto X. I like the Magneto X. It's too loud for me. The linear motors, when they're sitting still, make this ungodly whining noise that at least my ears pick up really badly, and it drives me nuts, especially being right there. And it really just wants to print fast. It doesn't like printing slow. Like you get a belt cogging kind of look on your prints if you print slowly with it, which honestly these days, I don't generally push speed to its limits. I'm generally more focused on getting things done correctly to the specs that I need, to the quality that I need, than I am about getting them done as fast as I can. So I have run it in a few projects. I used it heavily for the multi-board project. The biggest thing right now is I need to enclose it. One, I want to enclose it to see if that noise gets trapped inside of it, and then I can leave it on. Because I leave my printers on all the time. And so, like, I want to leave it on, especially in my background there. I'd like it to be lit up because it's like a dark spot in the background. But I can't listen to that noise. I just can't. And so I'm hoping the enclosure will help. The other thing with the enclosure is I print a lot of ASA and I can't do that right now. Is your electric bill super high? It is not cheap. But most printers, when they're sitting here on 24/7, they're drawing a couple watts because it's not like you're heating. You know, it's an LED strip and a Raspberry Pi in like not standby mode because Clipper doesn't really go into standby, unfortunately. I'd have to check what they're really pulling sitting here. I probably have like, it's like leaving a half dozen lights on in here at all times, you know? The printers aren't pulling that much power on a day-to-day basis. But yeah. So like, I like the Magneto, but I definitely feel like it's V1. It's Rev 1 of the concept. I like it. I like the idea. I like what they've done with it. I like it a lot better at the price point that it's at nowadays. Like it was, what, $2,000 when they introed it, but I think you can get them for $1,300, $1,400 now. I think it's a much more reasonable machine at that price. Yeah, so. Okay, I need to get extrusions out of here. This one we already put together, I need to tear apart. So I need this extrusion. Stupid. 3 steps forward, 4 steps back. Not true. 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. But thank you, Robert. Thank you so much for the super chat. It says the first super chat of the live stream, but I know that's not true. We had a super chat earlier. YouTube, you're drunk. Go home. Robert, thank you so much for the super chat. It is super appreciated. Thank you very much. Yeah, like I like that machine. I do, and I really would like to use it more. I was actually looking at it just yesterday, thinking about what I can do to get it to a point where I will use it more, and I'm 90% sure that's the first super. Now, somebody sent a super earlier. Fan funding. Let's see. Yeah, Dot Mammoot sent a super chat earlier. Dot Mammoot sent a super chat like an hour, or not an hour ago, a half hour ago. Whatever. I'm not going to start complaining about super chats. It's just silly that that it says that. Not the first. Yeah. Oh, it's their first. Oh, maybe that's what it is. It must be. It just says, let's celebrate their first one. Never mind. I'm confused. Thank you. I'm tired. Got it. Thank you. Any which way, thank you so much for the support. It is appreciated. Now here's going to be the fun game of how the heck we're going to put this together. Because I've got to now... So I've got this C channel here of a frame, and I've got to slide this into here, this whole gantry assembly. I'm going to slide this whole gantry assembly into here. And how the heck am I going to keep this? Oh, okay. Actually, now that it's set in there, it's sitting okay. I've just got to be careful not to knock that the heck over. Yay! This isn't nerve-wracking at all. All right. Now I need the top extrusion. This is already going a little better than I'd hoped. I probably just jinxed myself, but the other side's not going to be as fun. I'm sure of that. I am certain of that. Yep, it wants to fall over. Okay. I'll tighten this a little bit. Stop walking. Have you done a Nighthawk 36 beacon setup recently? Not recently, no. I am going to be doing it very soon, I'm Alex. I'm going to be doing it with the Reaper toolhead for my 2.4. When I swap to Reaper on my 2.4, I've got a Nighthawk on there already, and it's going to be running beacon. So, yeah, I will be doing it soon. TM. I actually plan to do a video about that too. I want to do a few more videos on the Mandic Labs channel, this channel. Doing the USB pass-through. Yes, I am doing the USB pass-through. Which do you think is better, Eddy Coil or the beacon? Beacon. I haven't run Eddie yet to truly say. I'm in planning. I have a plan. I have a build where I'm going to put Eddie on it. I'm going to be building another Voron 2.4 soon to put the box turtle on, and I'm going to put an Eddie coil on that. But that's not today. So yeah. Okay, I need to find the hole for this. I'm gonna line these up a little bit. I kind of get this like just ever so tight. Do you already know how much build volume you're going to lose with Reaper? My goal is to not lose any. My goal is to not lose any. But if I remember offhand, the way that I'm setting it up with Reaper, I'm probably going to lose 7 millimeters on the y-axis. I'm going to try my best to not lose any. I'm actually going to gain z-axis build volume by going to Reaper. Because the way it ended up doing I forget exactly how much it is, but I want to say it's like 5 millimeters I'm going to gain on Z with BFI. I've got the Chaotic Lab. I've got a Chaotic Lab CNC kit on that. So I don't know about the corners yet. I just don't know. So we're going to see. Because my goal is to shift the bed forward. But if I shift the bed forward, I bring the tool head closer to those corners, so I might lose corner build volume. I've got to figure it out. I don't want to lose any build volume. I do not want to lose any build volume. I've talked to the folks on the Reaper Discord about it a bit, and it seems like nobody's really done what I'm doing exactly. That at least chimed in. So we're not 100% yet where I'm going to land. We're going to find out. I do intend to do a video about it. I have a couple of videos on the Manic Labs channel planned right now. So videos I have planned at the moment is just a quickie video about these Flex power supplies my last stream was about, just to like condense that whole stream worth of information into one video, one like 5-10 minute video. Then I plan to do my Voron 2.4, a 24 volt versus 48 volt video using that power supply. So yeah, I plan to do a 28 volt versus 48 volt, not super in depth, just to literally like, I'm swapping from 24 volts to 48 volts. What gain is there? Just so like a super basic idea. Deciding between Reaper and A4T. I've got an A4T right here. A4T is definitely going to like lose you less build volume. I'm sure of that. And third video is swapping from Stealth Burner to Reaper. These are all just going to be like super quickie, like 5, 8, 10 minute videos. Just off the cuff, like vlog style, just get them done kind of things. And fourth video is the rat rig. Somebody just asked about the rat rig. Fourth video is finishing the rat rig build. So enclosing it, swapping to tube from the UHF Rapido, and putting a Nevermore filter in it. So, and some LEDs and maybe a chamber camera. So yeah. How many tool heads do you have? A bunch. There's us all over there. There's the A4T right here. There's the Reaper over there. I've got different projects I have different plans for. The A4T is probably going in the Airy one. The Airy one X400. I think I'm going to convert it away from their proprietary tool head to an A4T. My Trident has Zal, and my main 2.4 is getting a Reaper. So, yeah. I want to try different things, you know? I can't tell people, like, all I know about a lot of these is what I've read on Discord or like the GitHubs or what you folks have told me in chat. I need to run these things to have like a better basis of information for people. So, okay. Let's get this corner clamped up so we can get this corner assembled. Side clamp. Clamped. Is this camera gonna catch this? Yeah, it does. Okay, cool. That's the old clamp. And how many printers do I run on a daily basis, and how many prints do I generally run? Honestly, I really only run 1 to 3 printers on a daily basis. Lately, it's been the Core 1 and the XL as my primary printers, mainly because my 2.4 is still not done getting rebuilt. But generally, I really don't know. A toolhead showdown would be neat. It would be neat, but I can't do it on one machine. I just don't have the time to go through a full like breakdown of installing them all on one machine. So, yeah, I don't know. That would be neat, but I don't know. Originally, I had planned to put Reaper on the Airy one because the Airy one, I don't think you would lose any build volume. It's generous on the dimensions around the build of the bed on the Airy one. I forget why I decided not to do it on the Airy one. I mean, it looks really cool. So I kind of just want it in my main 2.4 because it looks cool. I'm actually not that worried about additional part cooling on my 2.4, but good morning, Randy. Okay, this corner. Sounds like you need an intern. I do, but I'm not a fan of unpaid internships, and I really can't afford to pay somebody because I cannot afford to pay myself. So there's that. Yeah, I'm not a fan of unpaid internships. I think people should be compensated for their labor. And so I'm not in a position, unfortunately. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. I would be fine paying somebody less than like I would just a full-time assistant as an intern, because obviously they're getting more out of it than just working a job. But I just can't afford it. I can't, like, currently I'm not taking a paycheck out of my business. All the money I make goes into supporting the business. So, all right, that's tight. After watching your video on small printers, doing an Ultimaker 2 Go, converting it to 1.75, and a 0.2 LDO kit. Cool. It's an interesting combination of machines. Hope they work out well for you. You need to find a teen who wants to learn, call it educational. I know. I'm just not great with that stuff. I'm also not great with people. So, like, there's that factor too. And I definitely want to feel like I'm really giving somebody something for the effort, for the trouble. Okay. All right. Is this clamp going to get in here now? Because I can't lay this clamp down because this gantry's in place. I might have to slide this gantry down. I'm going to have to get this out of the way. I'm glad I'm printing more of those spacers because we're going to have to do this gantry after the sides are done. After the whole cube is built, I should say. All right. That looks pretty good. All right, that's tight. Now this corner. Okay. Side. I'm gonna go this way with this. That's not gonna work. I gotta slide this gantry down further. It's got to go so far down, out of my way. Okay, okay. Wait, that's the wrong clamp. This one's the one I need. All right, there we go. Now, tighten that. Ultimaker is the first printer I got to use in school, so it's a bit nostalgic. That's cool. I can appreciate that. I'm all for resto modding, that's for sure. And if you have personal nostalgia tied to it, why not? All right. So now we got our 4 corners. Okay, 4 corners on this side. Now the challenging part, I'm gonna put uprights on this. So now I'm gonna have to build up the rest of the box sitting here, I think. Because I can't flip it over. There's gonna be nothing, yeah. Ideally, I would now flip it over and do the other side, but I simply can't do that. Oh, this is going to be fun. I just realized, too, I'm not going to be able to get to these corners to tighten these. Okay. So that's sitting there. Now I got to clamp this in position. I think I need to do this because I need this to stay square here. How am I going to do this? I need a third 1, 2, 3 block. How do you deal with so many varying printers? I know what each one's kind of good at. Yeah, I'm going to slide it to the edge of a table to tighten it. I'm just worried about how I can clamp this up right now. That is how I'm going to tighten it. I really need it to be this way, but I don't know if this clamp, no, this clamp will go big enough. Just how it's going to have to be. I need like a third 1, 2, 3 block to be inside of this side, but I can only do this way right now. I don't love that, but it is what it is. Okay. Now, slide it off the edge, come up from underneath with a hex wrench. I do not like this. I'm probably going to have to triple check this frame for square after stream. But I don't really see what other way to do this, unfortunately. This is where, like, I appreciate that they sent it fully assembled. Like, I don't have to build bearing stacks and such, but I kind of feel like that's a mistake. Kind of feel like that's actually complicating things too much. Because the frame, at least, which, like, getting your frame fairly square is kind of important. And getting your frame square with this factored in is overcomplicated, as I just dropped the 1, 2, 3 block almost on my foot. It's overcomplicating things. It's because of self-source design made into a kit. Yeah, like, I totally get that, why it has occurred, but this is definitely a... Did anybody at Mellow ever build one of these things? Because, like, how? How did they do it? Also makes me question if anybody from the VZ team has ever built one of the kits fully. How it ships. Like, I'm sure Simon has built it using the parts provided, or somebody on the team has used it, but they probably got a pile of parts, not a pre-assembled gantry setup. I wonder, anyway. Oh, well, I've got to disassemble the gantry anyway because the printed parts inside of there. God, I really don't like this. I think I might have to disassemble it. Because there's printed parts inside of there that need to be replaced. I'm going to finish this corner quick and then decide what the next step is. Because there's printed parts inside of the carbon fiber rail that have to get replaced. All right, now this corner, you can take the X off. Yeah, well, it's not just taking the X off. Like, I'm sure I can take the X off just fine. That's all fine and dandy. What I could do is I could take the X off and I can take the gantry apart. I'm going to take the gantry apart. I'm fairly sure. I can see what I'm going to do. I think. Okay, let me get this tight, and then I think I'm going to reevaluate my next step. Because I can leave these corners largely together. You know? I can largely leave these together and break this apart. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Because this is just silly. And it's not going to lead to a particularly square frame the way I'm doing it right now. Okay, so next step, I'm going to pop this apart. I don't see what else to do. Those are M4s. So I'm going to loosen up these pieces off this corner. I might need to loosen up all of these pieces. Yuri, you got gifted a membership. I forget who gifted you a membership, but welcome to it anyway. So glad to see you chiming in with appreciation. Thank you for being here. Thank you to whoever gifted Yuri the membership. How are you liking the VCore 4? I can't find anyone printing on it on YouTube. I have no complaints about it so far. The build process could be improved. I will talk about that in the video that I intend to do on it. Gotta loosen up a screw underneath here. It's a little hard to, it's kind of captive and not easy to get to. There we go. Okay, there we go. One motor assembly off. Is this view any better? A little bit. Okay. Now I gotta get this apart. What's the best way to get this apart? Has to come apart anyway. I'll hold that with a wrench. I like the rat rig as a machine. The build process could be improved. Okay. Let's get this screw out of here. Hesitant without seeing more about it. Understandable. So I will be touching on the build process and my thoughts on the machine in that video. I'm really hoping I can get to that this week. Probably won't come out for 2 or 3 weeks. I'm hopeful. We'll see. Brian, I sold my first VCore 4 to a company that didn't want to use time to construct. Understandable. I bought another and amazed how easy and better the free redo is. I mean, yeah, once you have experience with the way, and honestly, that's kind of part of the problem here too. Like, I built a bunch of Vorons, but I'm branching out into RatRig and, now VZ-Bot and these things where I have to learn what they expect, learn what they're expecting when it comes to building a machine. So like, that's absolutely a factor in all of this is my own understanding of the build process will evolve and improve, and that's going to change things. Okay, cool. Now we got the side off. Now I'm going to pull the X beam out of here entirely. So like, I'm sure if I built another VCore 4, it would go a lot quicker. Absolutely. There's still just things that I don't care for with the VCore 4. I'll tell you right now, the biggest one is wiring. They told me that they massively improved wiring over VCore 3. And so I was like, oh, that's great. Seeing it, I'm glad I never built a VCore 3. Because the wiring on VCore 4 is not what I would call great for a kit. Half the time wiring and overall construction, yeah. Like, you have to re-terminate ends of wires on their kit. And like, I'm sorry, but a kit printer in 2025, I should not have to terminate wires. I should not have to terminate power wires. I shouldn't have to terminate, especially power wires. Those are the ones that really bugged me, where I'm like, it's a set length. It's basically just a set length. Why can't you pre-terminate those for me? Yeah, so. A couple of the printed parts I had to get out of there. Anyway, that's what I just realized is these printed parts had to come out of this gantry anyway. So this had to come out. So I should have broken this down minutes ago. Anyway. Okay, I want to put gantry screws in like a spot. I'm going to put them in here. So I will talk about the things, and I've told RatRig this as well. Like, I told them flat out shortly after I built the machine to the point where it's at right now, I sent them an email and I said, hey, here's the things I found already. I don't want to like blindside you with my complaints. And the biggest one was the wiring, was the biggest one, where I'm like, that's the one that we're like, I don't fully understand it, but I understand that this is reality, is a lot of folks are more intimidated by wiring than they are by this stuff, putting a frame together. I think this takes as much, if not more, knowledge than wiring does, but I'm also very, very used to wiring things. So whatever, I get it. And that's what I told them is like, people are more intimidated by wiring than they are by anything else. That is the thing you absolutely need to improve about your machines. So yeah. Okay, now that that's done, that's out of the way, I'm going to get this out of the way. I'm going to rebuild the other side with this rail piece going in now. And that should, get me the next step. Okay, now, crap. I gotta figure out exactly which way this piece goes in. All right, I gotta eyeball this rail. This is gonna be like that. So I need the motor on this side, facing inward. I agree on the wiring issue, but honestly, I feel like they've expanded my knowledge base and confidence by going through the experience. Pretty sure that's why DIYers do a lot. Yes, the problem is, I get that. And that's part of my concept too. I don't disagree. I have a lot of people when I'm working on things and I have to crimp JST connectors. They're like, I would never crimp JST connectors. They're too tiny. And to me, they're not that small. Like there are smaller connectors out there that are an even bigger pain. So I agree to a point. The problem comes in with the rat rig, especially. That rat rig fills a hole in the market. What other 500 millimeter machines are you going to get for $2,000? So there are a large percentage of people who are interested in a rat rig 500 purely because it's a 500. They don't care that it's a rat rig. They don't care if it's DI. They're not. If they could buy the same machine for the same price that was pre-assembled, they would. And I don't think I made a big enough deal about that with the X400 video. I didn't make a big enough point about that. Where like the X400 comes fully assembled, ready to run. You just remove a couple of shipping like brackets, and you can run a print, and that's a big deal. So like that's a thing. I don't know. LTX Design, question if you could share your input based on your experience. I don't know till you ask the question, but I will try. Okay, this goes in here. Now I can slide this out of the way so I can get a clamp in here. Shoot your question. I will try my best to answer. Okay. Now this, I can get a clamp on. I need to get this clamp this way. So I need the gantry further out of the way. Alan, chat, made it in over an hour traveling to work. Jeff, thanks for popping in. And stream's going okay. We had a 3-step forward, 2 steps back situation, but it's going okay. As is that print that I need. Great. All right, side clamp can go in. This profile yeah, I really could use one of those right now. I have one right here, but it's only 1515. I kind of wish this kit would have come with those 2020, one of those 2020 tools. I feel like that would have been a big help. But well, it's Mellow, not PhysX, so it's not exactly like Mellow couldn't make something like that. So a standard stream then, normal. Yeah, you're not wrong. You are not wrong, Jeff. Okay, now I can tighten this corner. I'm looking to move away from Bamboo Lab. I'm looking at a Voron 2.4, Seabore, and Topdon. Not a big tinkerer, but I want a 350 or bigger build plate. Any reason to choose one or the other? I wouldn't choose either. I've just not had good experiences with Seabore, unfortunately. I don't know if they've improved things. They probably have, but I simply don't know. I haven't messed with their machines. They're not fans of me. Never messed with Topdon. Both of those companies, I think, are like slight fundamental misunderstandings of the market. I feel like they miss the mark in a handful of ways. And they're just filling in a hole. He's padding just till the prints are finished. It'll be perfectly timed. I don't think it will be because it's at 57% right now. Though we're going to have a heck of a time putting the side together. So SV08. SV08's an option. That's definitely an affordable option. The SV08's your most affordable option. And that one I think is a little bit better for the price anyway. Is a better option. And if you're not a tinkerer, it's going to save you a whole lot of trouble there. So you don't have to build it because either Topdon comes in sub-assemblies, I think. I've never built Topdon, but I'm pretty sure it comes in sub-assemblies. Seabore you have to build. So I would look at FormBot if you're set on building a 2.4. I would probably look at FormBot or LDO. LDO is my personal preference, but I understand that they are pricier for a lot of folks. I think they come with better quality components, and they are big supporters of the industry, myself included. And that creates a bias in me, absolutely. But I really appreciate that about them. Like, they are really supportive of the industry. Did I put that in upside down? I put that in upside down. No. It's supposed to be up here. Whew. I'm looking at this from my perspective. This motor's facing upward when it's supposed to be facing down. I'm like, damn it. But I'm forgetting that this is flipped. Yeah, I've heard great things about FormBot. I've never built a FormBot either. I've built PhysX, LDO, self-source. Yeah. Any ultra high flow cheap hot ends on AliExpress? They exist, but your best option is to build your own, kind of like assemble from components. Ever built a Micron? Nope. I really want to build a salad fork. I haven't built a Micron or a salad fork yet. No printers for ants for me yet. I'm waiting on kits. Soval, Comgro SV08, different colors. I didn't know they had their version. Triangle Labs hot ends. Yeah. Did I tighten this corner? I don't remember. Yes, this corner's tight. Okay. Double check. Great. Okay. What is another pitfall with you're self-sourcing a Rat Rig VCore 4, all self-sourced because I have a lot of parts already. What's another pitfall other than wiring? Belting is annoying. It's doable, but it's annoying. Get that printed tool that I have on my Thangs page. Made it so much easier. Helga's tool. It's just like a 2-layer print. It's such a basic thing, but it made my life so much easier. Honestly, there's not much else about the VCore that's that big of a pitfall when building it. The build process is pretty darn straightforward. I don't know where you're getting your extrusions from, if they're going to be the same as the Rat Rig extrusions with the way that they're assembled, because those made the whole process so easy. I forget how long the original stream was, but we built the original 500 like main frame in very short order. Let me look back. How long was the first Rat Rig stream? Frame assembly, 5 hours, 45 minutes. By the end of that, I forget how big it was, but we had a lot done there by the end of that. Yeah. By the end of that video, by the end of that stream, 5 hours, 45 minutes, we had motors in, Z-axis motors in, full frame assembled, and linear rails for the Z-axis in. I think that's pretty freaking solid. So yeah. Classic Volcano with flow extender in the ballpark, easier to fix. I'm looking at the Ender 3NG. Lancer is way more flow for the same price. I want a Rat Rig so bad. IDEX, but I don't need anything bigger than the 350 2.4. You can always get the 300. The VCore 4 IDEX 300 exists. So you're taking a little bit of a size hit, but you can still get IDEX, and it'll be faster than the bigger machines. What's a good budget hot end? Let's AliExpress super quick. I'm waiting on those printed parts anyway, so. What's a good option for hot ends on AliExpress? Dodge Charger 440, welcome in, welcome in. Triangle Lab. Well, the Dragon Ace is going to be a pretty... Dragon Ace. I hate how AliExpress does this. What does this have to do with anything? There we go. The search on AliExpress is so lovely. Dragon UHF, I've heard great things too. I have one. I forget what machine I have it intended for. I think it's going to end up in my Mercury 1. Why? AliExpress, your search sucks. Rapido, no. There's a dragon, no. That's not what I'm looking for. None of these are what I'm looking for. Rapido Ace. At least this is Triangle Lab. We can get to their page. Oh, Triangle Lab is one word. Okay. And then they changed it so, like, where's the link to their store? I think it might be over on the right because I'm cropped a little bit. Nope, that's not the official Triangle Lab. All the dragon stuff is not on Ali. Yeah, because of issues. Let's just search Triangle Lab and see. Still not Triangle Lab. Maybe that is... I'm pretty sure the Dragon Ace is generally on here, but I could be wrong. All right, let's go to Triangle Lab website then. Okay, they've got a clone of the Goliath. I have not tried it. I don't love it. They're knocking off the Goliath. The price difference is not that big of a... I'm not a fan of Triangle Lab in general, quite honestly. Like, the price difference between them and an official, Fadis stuff or whatever is so marginal for the most part. But they do have some stuff that others just don't have. There it is, Dragon Ace. So, the Dragon Ace, you get a volcano block, a dragon heatsink, and a flow extender for 53 freaking dollars. No, volcano. For $69 US anyway. That's pretty serious. You're going to get some serious flow out of that. How much? Hard to say. But I haven't run one. I don't know. I would guesstimate, pure guess, ballpark thought, 60. I think might be realistic out of that. So, yeah. That's the regular Ace. That's the volcano. This is the volcano block, and this is the volcano block with the extender. So, there's that. I don't know. That's probably going to be your highest flow budget option. Haven't run one. Don't know. Don't know how I feel about it. But it exists. Okay. Figure out where I was at here. Now, how am I going to get... I don't know if I want to tighten this into here just yet. So I got to put this back together a little bit. Trying to think what makes sense here. Putting this back together. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I'm trying to think what makes the most freaking sense about putting this together, and I just don't know. Nori, you are fine. You want to come say hi to chat? Come say hi to everybody. Hi. She's getting restless back there. How long have we been streaming? 2 hours. You are fine. The problem is that I woke up. When I woke up this morning, I didn't have a chance to play with her enough and tire her out before I started stream. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. And Ruby's not home right now for me to just pawn her off on. Here. It's your purse. Want your purse? She's like, no, you're not faking me out with that. Okay. Now I got to try and figure out how to get this onto here. I don't think I can put those. Oh, wait, no, I can. Okay, I have an idea. I'm going to lower this gantry down. All right. Now I'm going to drop this onto here. Okay. Now I need to... How's Tattoo Shop coming along? It's basically exactly where you saw it at the end of the video. So basically where it was when I finished that video is where it still is. So, okay, I need to slide this down. I'm going to be over there yet today, probably. Well, no, I'll probably go to Lowe's today and get what I need. I got to paint tomorrow, I think. And I'm actually going to have, hopefully next Saturday, I'll have another video over there. I'm going to be setting up the networking in the studio in Blackthorn. Okay, hey, that worked. So what I did is I only unassembled this one back corner piece. I slipped this onto here, and then I just slid it back so I get these bottom pieces in. Now, I got to get this. Oh, it's kind of getting stuck. Oh, I don't love how much this is catching. I will be using Ubiquity hardware. Yes, cheese. I'm waiting on the Ubiquity's supposed to ship out the hardware tomorrow. So, yeah. So what I'm going to be doing, I can tell you folks for stream, I got one arriving today. I'm doing one of those 10-inch racks. If anybody's into 3D printing, computer stuff, they've been kind of a trend lately, those small server racks, a 10-inch one. You know, printer build's going well when you break out the rubber mallet. Yeah. So I'm going to be building a 10-inch rack up using Ubiquity hardware, but I'm not going to, I'm going to 3D print an entire 10-inch rack completely. The entire rack is going to be 3D printed, obviously aside from the switches and such and the hardware actually in it. So I have one of those 10-inch racks arriving today, and later today I'm going to start working on the design. I'm just going to build the 10-inch rack just to have measurements, so I can design the 3D printed parts, and then I'm going to send the 10-inch rack back. Yeah. So, but I'm going to fully 3D print a 10-inch rack, load it up with Ubiquity hardware. There are a couple of designs out there already for 10 inches. There totally are. I just want to build my own. I want to have files to release. I want to do it myself. I think it's going to be a way more interesting video. That's what I did because of cost. And that's part of it is the 10-inch rack is $150. I'm going to use ASA to build it. It's $150. And like, I'm not saying that's crazy. It's not. It's not. But I paid $150 for my full 42U server rack. So like, we'll discuss all that in the video. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's this next week's video, is setting up the security and the networking at Blackthorn and fully 3D printing a 10-inch rack. Will heat buildup be an issue? One, I'm intending to put fans in it. Two, I'm going to use ASA. So, shouldn't be. I printed 2 4U racks for my setup, yeah. Multi-border Gridfinity organization for her shop, no. No, she's going for like this... I didn't talk about that. Need to print them in Peak. Yeah, well, I don't have any printers capable of Peak right now, so... where was I going? SLM even, yeah. Dang it. What was I thinking about? Heat buildup. Oh, the shop organization. Thank you. Yes. She's going for a really like high-end boutique look for the space. Ruby, in her tattoo work, is very focused on creating a like Gucci experience for her clients. She's not a cheap tattoo artist, and she wants to create an experience when people walk in where because she only does one tattoo a day. That's all she does. if she shows up at the shop to do a tattoo, that person gets her for the next 8 to 12 hours. She walks them through the design process. Like, she tries to tailor every tattoo experience to be as personal and comfortable as she can. And that's part of what we want with the shop, is for it to be a comfortable space, but also like a high-end feeling space. So like multi-board doesn't exactly fit that. How much I like that aesthetic is one thing, but it doesn't fit the theme, the idea. There's going to be a lot of 3D printed stuff in there. We're doing a full wall of architectural panels. She has this design she created for the seating area, the waiting area. That's all like these pyramid-shaped architectural panels. And I'm going to fully 3D print the entire wall. And like frame out some artwork and such with 3D printing. So like we're going to be heavily integrating 3D printing into the shop. But yeah. But not for organization so much. When renting commercial space, do you have to put it back to original state when leaving? It depends on the landlord and the lease. Like the people who were in that space before us, lighting will definitely be important. I need to improve the lighting. It's definitely not where it needs to be yet. The people who are in that space before did minimal. They like basically just moved in, slapped a little paint on the wall and called it done. And they didn't bother repainting when they left. They didn't fill holes in the wall. The landlord kind of just left that all to us. So I'm largely of the opinion that when we leave, I'm removing as little as I have to. But we have no intention of leaving anytime soon. You know, like we just moved in. And I think we'll probably be there for a couple of years. So, who knows? Okay. Now, why? Oh, because this is held up. That's why. I gotta slide this Y rail down a little bit, or this X rail down a little bit. Upcoming conventions you're excited for? The only ones I know of right now that I plan on attending is Rocky Mountain. I'm excited for that. I'm really looking forward to that. I really enjoyed Rocky Mountain last year. Hope to see some of you folks there. So there's that. This hammerhead's fighting me a little bit. It's holding this whole gantry up. Hey, there we go. All right. Yeah, I really wanted to get to Rapid. I don't know. I'd hoped to get to Rapid, but I've got another event literally the same days as Rapid, and the other event is paying for me to be there. So, or at least they're flying me out. Whereas Rapid, I would have to. They're not paying me. They're taking care of my travel expenses, whereas Rapid is not. So I can't really afford to do that. Okay. Now I can square up this corner. Nori, baby, you are fine. Okay, I can square up this corner. That's the wrong one. I mean, this one. All right. Yeah, the only one that I know of right now that I really intend to attend. Interesting to see the webcam tracking. Yeah, it is currently tracking me. I don't know if that kicked in yet. Let's switch to that angle real quick. Nope. It's funny. It's tracking me, but I don't have an image out of it right now. It's tracking me, but I don't have an image out of it right now. Tail layer is connected. Let me turn it on. Let's see. Connect. Why is it not connecting? There we go. Now it's on. Connect. Tail air. Wired connection. At the start of the stream, the battery was pretty dead. Okay, I think I need to start the virtual cam is the next problem. Yeah, fuck off. There's a pop-up that was keeping me from doing what I wanted to do. Nori, you need to calm down. I think I need to put her in the house and just like lock the gate. Okay. Why is the virtual cam not working? Virtual camera. All right, I think I've got it going now. There we go. Now the second camera's working. Hey, hi. Nori is trying to break out. She's losing it back there. So I need to go to the bathroom anyway. I need a bathroom break. So I will be right back, folks. I'm going to go put her in the house. She can be okay for the end of the stream to be on her own for the next 45, 50 minutes. My goal is to have this frame fully assembled and squared up before end of stream. So that's where we're headed. And I think we're really close to being there already. Our prints are done. I'll be right back. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break and let this one out. And I will be right back. ASAP. Less than 5 minutes, I should hope. Right back. Music up. See you in a few minutes. Okay, and we are back. We're back. Nori is hanging out in the house. She'll be okay. What did I miss? What did I miss? Building up commercial space is fun, but costly depending on what condition the last tenant left it in. Yeah. Been in our shop the last 10 years, looking to buy our next shop. Yeah. The last shop, they really didn't care. And that's like a lot of what has been the problem over it at Blackthorn is I just spent so much time just fixing minor, stuff. Holes in the wall. The ceiling was painted blue. And like Ruby really didn't want that. So getting that painted to the point where it was acceptable, covering the blue was annoying, dumb things like that have just been, I spent so much time on. And they also, they weren't legally meeting they weren't legally meeting the standards for a tattoo. It was a tattoo shop that was in that space before us. That was the last tenant, was also a tattoo shop. But like they're legally required to have a sink for washing, just for washing your hands, separate of the bathroom. They didn't. They had like the hookups, like they had thought about it at one point. So I wonder if they didn't put one in, get legal approval, and then take it out. Because it's a small space. It's less than 400 square feet. So like, sure, a sink takes up room. I don't know. Supposedly they had 6 tattoo artists in that space, which is just wild to me. I don't know. Don't know. All right, now, never thought about using clamps like this. Yeah, I don't generally. I would prefer to be less forcing things into shape than this, but here we are. I just don't have enough hands, so kind of is what it is. Looked at a space for our food service business, or for our food business, and yeah, commercial real estate gets insane. We got kind of lucky with that spot. It's really pretty reasonable in the scheme of things. It's not cheap, but it's fairly reasonable for its location, for the amenities, whatever. And basically what it worked out to is like tattoo shops, if anybody's not familiar, most tattoo artists are not employees of the shop. They're independent contractors. I have issues with that, but that's a different topic. And as such, they pay like booth rent. So same as like salons do. It's very common in salons for hairstylists to do the same thing, where they pay, yeah, this corner didn't square up as nice as I would have liked. They pay a booth rent. So that's not unheard of in the tattoo industry, booth rent. And that's usually what Ruby has done, is booth rent. So you're just paying to be there and use the space, and like some, advertising for the shop will advertise for you. So like there's stuff that goes with that. But anyway, point being that the space that Blackthorn is in the cost of it ended up, I'm going to tighten this a little more. This one wasn't quite where I wanted it. It's still not. Why is it doing that? That's weird. That's weird. Why is this fucking being funky? Sorry, I'm trying to line this up, and it's like this clamp trick is not working out so well in this corner, actually. It's not lining up nicely. I might have to do this by hand, because it keeps sliding past. Anyway, the rent on Blackthorn, where we ended up, worked out to be the same, actually a little bit less than she was paying at booth rent at the last place she was at, is what it comes down to. So obviously she got to do her own marketing and stuff, but she did that anyway. Like the last shop marketed, but not Ruby's good at marketing. And so she really did her own. And yeah, so the space ended up costing us, extrusions are great and all, but these off the shelf printers with steel frames are nice. I do not disagree. The core one was out of the box and printing in 20 minutes. So, but don't get me wrong. I love building these things. It's just kind of stressful on stream. Okay, I got to flip this around and do these top corners now as extrusions fall away. One thing I hope becomes more popular over time is our more purpose-built frames. Yeah, I had people arguing that goes against the spirit of RepRap, like CNC press brake bent stainless or steel frames. I totally disagree with that personally. Yes, it's different, and maybe it requires paying a service to do something for you, but like with companies like Oshcut and Send Cut Send, it's totally a doable thing these days. All right, let's see if I can I just, what can I do here? I'm trying to square this up nicely. This doesn't help that the VZ-bot assembly has some holes. I mean, it has some glaring holes here. So I basically haven't looked at the instructions in 2 hours. How you adapting to West Coast life? Fine. Really hasn't been much of anything to me. Same difference to me, I guess, but I don't leave the house much, so. I built my 235, bought the extrusions, and machined them to length. That's cool. I guess I'll start down at the bottom here, where I can use this better. Where I can better use this. Yeah. Yeah, West Coast life. Honestly, I expected to be more annoyed by how slow-paced it is. I really haven't been. But I also don't get out of the house a lot, so not exactly generally that big a problem for me. And I do appreciate the abundance of vegan places. You know, it's not hard for me to find a place to eat when I just need to grab a bite to eat. I'm not mad about that. This is annoying. But I'm waiting on DLL PDF to send me new extrusions so I continue with my Micron build. Yeah. I'm really hopeful somebody will come out with a 180 salad fork kit soon. Where's Shammy to yell at Hector? I don't want to keep bugging him about it. I've bugged him enough about them. Ah, dang it. I'm going to have to build this. I am not taking it back apart. I'm not. I slid this front corner off. I should have slid it on before I put this back in here. So I'm going to have to fully disassemble this and put it back together in place. Fine, I will do that. So I'm not disassembling this again. Okay, you're in position, you're in position. Okay. I think some printers should truly be like, oh, just buy some 2020 extrusions. But I think we'd benefit from some yeehaw CNC designs. Oh yeah, totally. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think all printers should go, all projects should go to, you know, custom CNC, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't think that at all. But I don't see a problem with when people do it. You know, like some people are like, no machine should be built that way. It's against the spirit of things. Like, I don't care. Okay. And give this a quick tap with the hammer. Yeah, cool. Talking about commercial space being expensive, we're in Brooklyn. Oof, okay, yeah. Good luck with that. 3,000 square foot minimum. Imagine the price on that. Whew, no, thank you. I don't want to imagine the price on that. I don't want to imagine the price on that. Just trying to get this to line up nicely. Cool. When in doubt, smack it with a hammer. I feel for you on that. I do. Like, Philadelphia commercial space was definitely salty. Philadelphia commercial space was salty, but not New York salty. I know that. I know that. Okay. Now these two corners, and we got a frame. All right, all right, all right. Clamp. All builds need a hammer, like you used to build hot rods. All hammers already. Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. I'm quite used to breaking on a hammer when I need to. I'm not afraid of a hammer. I know how to use it. I'm a professional hammer user. I have probably swung a hammer more in my life than the average person will ever have thought of the word hammer. I used to swing a hammer thousands of times a day, and my elbow knows it. VZ has a backpack for electronics, right? Yes, there's a backpack for electronics. Sort of. Ball joints and hammers are love. Absolutely. I remember that. One of my favorite anecdotes from my days as a mechanic was I was working at a Ford dealership, and I bought a Matco, super big, every piece you could need ball joint press kit. And this new kid, oil lube tech, whatever, started, and he got a ball joint job. He sold a ball joint job, and they were like, yeah, you go ahead and do it. And he was fresh out of school, whatever. And he didn't have a ball joint press though. And he asked me if he could borrow mine. I said, yeah, sure, no problem. I'm not using it right now. It's a ball joint press. You're not going to fuck it up. And 20 minutes later, he comes back over and he's got this pile of adapters in his hands. And he's working on a Ford Explorer, like a 2000 Ford Explorer. And he walks over and he's got all these adapters in his hands. He's like, which one of these should I use to press the ball joint out on that thing? I was like, well, which one is it? Lower? He said, yeah, it's the lower one. I was like, okay, do you have the circlip out? It's got a snap ring. It goes around the outside of it. Do you have the snap ring off? Yeah. And I walked over to my toolbox and I grabbed a mini sledgehammer and I said, this one. And he's like, what are you talking about? I walk over to the project, to the Explorer he's working on. I look, he's all ready to do it. I just took my mini sledgehammer, smack. One hit, the ball joint drops, shoots out of the bottom of the control arm and hits the floor. I was like, there you go. That's how you do it. Because those go in from underneath. They go in from underneath and they just shoot straight down. So as long as you've got a clear path, the knuckles out of the way, you're not going to hit the fender. One good whack on the backside of the ball joint, it'll send it right out of there. Maybe 2 or 3. But yeah, I remember that kid just being like, oh, okay. Of course, that's definitely probably not what I should have taught the kid fresh out of school, but whatever. Time is money. Time is money when you're working flat rate, kid. Okay. That's exactly what he needed. Yeah, I mean, I always appreciate that. I had my team lead. The shop I worked with, I was at a dealership, and the dealership had teams. And my team lead taught me so many of the tricks of the trade. You learn the right way to do things in school, and then in the real world, you learn the ways you do it to actually get things done. How few parts do you need to remove so you can get the job done? Okay, our print is done. I love that. These just came off the bed so easy because it's cooled down enough. Whew. All these tools are for different jobs and not always needed. Yeah? Oh my gosh. How is this going to work? Okay. These tools have to go underneath this because the rail's here, so this tool has to go underneath this thing. So I'm going to put this up on 1, 2, 3 blocks on the bottom side. So it's sitting how I want. This is where I say, I use 1, 2, 3 blocks all the time, and not really for alignment. I mostly use them for that, or I'll use them when I'm filming things. I'll use them to chalk things up off the workbench. There's just so many uses for 1, 2, 3 blocks. In my world, anyway. Ah! Okay, I need to get these closer. This gantry needs to be 80 millimeters. So I got to slide it up a bit. I see a problem here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think this one screw is sticking out a little bit far down here, so this corner is holding. I might have to loosen this corner to get this where I need it to be. Don't want to, got to. Don't want to, got to. I'm definitely going to be rechecking square after stream. Yeah, I don't want to hammer on that. That might be the answer, but I don't want to. Okay. All right. It's at 90 mil. Close to 80 mil. Close to 80 mil. Close to 80 mil. Close to 80 mil. Cool. Okay. Bring us down a little bit so you folks can see a little better. All right, now I can use these tools. Okay. Bam. All right, tool. Percussive maintenance. Yep. All right, cool. Now our tools are doing what they need to do. I really wish I could find those C-clamps right now, or my, Nadir, welcome in. Really wish I could find my clamps right now. My Irwin clamps would be thoroughly helpful right now. I'm going to take one more look, see if I can't find those. 1 second. Because I could use those to clamp the gantry to those spacer tools. And then I am a little freer with my hands to tighten things. Here's one. I need two. At least one will be helpful. You know what? One's going to have to do. It's fine. One's going to have to do. Okay. So this is all-wheel drive. Yes, this is all-wheel drive. Are all the spacers the same size? Yes, they are all off. That's why I didn't really elaborate on that. A while ago when I started that print, I scaled everything up because I was going to print 4 of them to be the exact same size, and I realized I don't have time for that because it would still be printing if I was waiting on that. So I just removed the scaling so that these printed the same shrinkage value as the other ones. The same material, same print settings. So, I mean, I can triple check these, but yep, same. So yes, they are the same. Yeah, totally fair reminder, and it's something I should have said, but I didn't earlier. So thanks for saying it. Yes, that's where we landed. Okay, so I got that. Just hold this gantry top portion in place. You see that better here? Yeah, clamp, because these go in between here. So this clamp is just kind of lightly holding those against each other. And down below on the bottom, I will do it by hand. All right, now I can tighten these. Why is that screw feel tight? Phew, why is that fighting me? It's like ever so slightly misaligned from the hole. There we go. Okay. Okay, that. Tighten this one. All right, that's tight. Double retighten this top corner, but I had to loosen a little bit. After stream, I'm going to go back over this and check squareness a little bit. I am going to do that. But for right now, I think this is okay. All right, now I can check up here. Here against the tool. Cool, against the tool. Turn this camera a little bit more to where I'm actually working. All right. Killer Prince, hello, hello. Welcome in. Hello. Great. Great. All right. I can take these spacers out of here. Check these corners for tight real quick. All right. Spacer, spacer. Spacers. That's Ivan's catchphrase. Spacers. All right. Cool. Well, we got a frame. Largely. Now I've got to disassemble this corner to put it on here because I forgot it when I was putting it together. So not thrilled about that, but that's life. I need to replace the printed parts in here anyway with my new ones. So, yay. I guess I might as well work on disassembling that so I can get it in position. I didn't realize that. These printed parts don't really have a way to align themselves in this thing. All right, let me... there is our frame. I will double check squareness after stream, but we have a frame with gantry parts with the y-axis gantry in place. All right. Progress. Love VZ-Bot. Such a simple but effective machine. Thank you, Jake, for the super chat. Super appreciated. Yeah, I mean, documentation needs help, but yeah, I don't really know what the most effective way to have done what we just did was. Are you working on any merch? We've been working on merch on and off for months, and like Ruby designs my merch, and I can only get so much of her time before it, you know, I can't hog all of her time as she's our primary breadwinner in the house. So I really want to get some merch out, really do. Let me see if I have any. I know I had pictures of what I was working on. Alan and Chad, has anyone had a couple of instances in Octoprint, and is it hard to do? Used a couple of instances in Octoprint. Got any samples? I don't right now. Let me pull up. Let me pull up and just ask you folks, like, see if I can find what I did have. Rush order tees. That was it. We did one sample before Smurf. I tried to get some shirts so I could have them for Smurf, and I just wasn't happy with the results. So, and they didn't show up in time. So part of it is I need to find a print shop that's going to work with me and actually do a good job. I want to go local anyway. I've contacted a few local places, so I will go back to that for actual production run of shirts. Here we go. Okay. Totally would have bought some at Smurf. Thank you, Prash. Welcome in, Prash. If anybody isn't familiar with Prash, Prash makes some of the sickest time lapses in 3D printing history, I think. Why? This t-shirt, this website will not let me log in. Each time it starts to log in, it just bounces back. Why? What is this doing? This is so weird. It's like, it's loading, and it bounces right back to the login. All right. Let me sign in with a different account. Maybe I had it with a different account. Yep, it was a different account. Okay, so it was whatever. Edit design. Okay, so I got two designs here of our most recent thoughts of what 3D print of what we're gonna do. So most recent merch ideas were, this one was the one I was trying to have ready for Smurf. So it is just Mandic really, and it like gets fainter as it goes down the shirt. This design doesn't necessarily show it so well, but it does do that. It's all one color, my teal color, and it just goes from solid at the top to less toward the bottom. And the back has the simplified Mandic Really logo that Ruby produced, which is a little more like EKG, or more so is inspired by schematic design, or not schematic design. Schematic design is what I mean. Yeah, sorry. It was inspired by like a resistor on. I would buy that. Cool. Okay, that's what I'm looking for is like feedback here. So, and here's the other design. This is the create design. So the back of the shirt has the like pattern drawing of a spaceship on it, which I'm pretty sure is legit like an old spaceship design. Like, I don't think Nikola Tesla, but somebody that like made forever ago. And it's like technically public domain at this point. So it's modified, but both great. I would definitely get them. Cool. I really like the create, and there's a few more details we want to add to this. Like, we want to get Gene in there somewhere, and then the front has again a pattern drawing version of my logo on it. So man, it really is the resistance. Ha! Hey, look at that. That's the create font looks familiar. Honestly, it's like a cyberpunk font off of, I want to say, Envato. I think Ruby might have ever so slightly tweaked it, but largely it's kind of just a font. There's a couple of like Chinese characters up here. I want to know what those say, and or turn them into just graphics, not actual. Preferably, I'd prefer they didn't say anything, or if they say something, it would say something, I don't know, make, create, or something like that. I got to figure that out. So this design is not 100% final, but that is the gist of it. So does it glow in the dark? No, it's just my teal. It's like my brand teal color. So doesn't glow in the dark. Maybe I could find somebody who could do that, but finding somebody who can do the teal, because the problem with this one that I got was they totally screwed up the color. I paid way too much to overnight it, and then it arrived the day after I left for Smurf. And then like the color of the logo on the back was perfect. That color was perfect, but the color on the front was wrong. And I'm like, how do you screw that up? It's the same color on the front and the back. How did you screw that up? But whatever. Design, make, creative could be cool. Well, my tagline for the channel, for Mandic Really channel, has always from day one been design, create, make. That's always been the like tagline of Mandic Really is design, create, make. I think one second. Does it say? Oh no, it's the create or die. My old banner doesn't say that. My old banner said create or die in the middle of it. Gene's holding the little create or die globe. So, but no. Yeah, the original tagline is design, create, make. The Japanese characters say business goose. I hope that would be fun. That would be funny. Honestly, maybe we'll stick with that. If they actually say business goose, that's silly. It would make more sense if they said something like, relative to what I do. But yeah, okay. So thank you for the interest in merch. I will get back on that because I could really use some capital right now. So I should really make a priority about that. Okay, I've got to disassemble this little motor assembly. and replace the printed parts and then get it back onto that frame. So let's see if we can do that. Ugh. All right. Back, what did I miss? Carrie, we got the frame largely together. I forgot to put this piece back in, so I got to disassemble this, replace the printed parts, and put it back together. So, and we just talked merch. We just talked all about merch stuff. So that is what you missed. Could do tie-dye shirt with your logo on the front and do like a purple light blue. Yeah, I mean, there's a million options. We've got time. Like, it's not like I'm going anywhere, hopefully. So there will be more merch ideas throughout the future. Okay. The usual struggles in merch design. Yep. That. The doodle pattern could be really cool. I want to do a doodle pattern desk mat. I really want to do a doodle pattern desk mat. I think that would be really cool. Ruby, honestly, Ruby kind of hates the doodle pattern because she thinks I use it too much. Yes, please. Okay. You're not the first person to say that, so I will look at that because I can actually make that happen very soon, actually. I just need to order a sample because I know where I can get that. Granted, I'd like to have it in different sizes. Yeah, penguins are apparently business goose. Okay, so I got that disassembled. There's my printed parts. This is an electronics box. You could partner up with LTT. Yeah, I would love to do that because I'd love to have. That's the problem is like I know where I can get desk mats, but I don't think I can get them. Need a desk pad anyway. You already sold 2. Okay, I know where I can get desk mats today. Like legit, I could have them up for sale today, but having them to a quality level I would be happy with is the question. So I got to order a sample. I will order a sample today from where I know I can get them. And I think they only have them in one size, which is what I don't care for. I would prefer to have options. I love that LTT has like so many options when it comes to those. So what's missing here? Is it this way? Yes, it's this way. Okay, that's what's missing. Okay, there's a little groove in here for these screws. That's cool. So I will get a sample on the desk mat and figure out where we're at, where things are at there. Okay, so I got little supports in this printed piece. Were you affected by a cluster of earthquakes? Nope. If I was, I don't know it. Buy the LTT and print over it. Well, that's going to get expensive. I haven't talked to my contacts at LTT in a while. Maybe I can see. I know that there was a time they were talking about like expanding into to be more of one of those companies that like produces merch for multiple people. I know that was a thing at one point they had talked about. I ever so slightly put some supports in this print, which I think they intend to print support free, but I didn't care for that. All right, some hex screws. They have a collaboration with Framework. Yeah, because Linus is a investor in Framework, and they do. There was a point, I'm pretty sure they were talking about about doing more merch stuff with other creators. I mean, I'm small potatoes in their world, but don't mind me just breaking that so I can get a hex knot out of it. And I got one here too. probably have to do the same thing here. Oh, interesting. This prints in a totally different Okay, so the intended print orientation on this is totally different than I thought, which is why I probably needed supports more so than they did. But again, some of the parts aren't oriented, so I didn't know that. I see that now. I can see the print lines on this. Cool. Okay. I think they have around 5 that they've collaborated with. Yeah, that sounds about right to me. Okay, I'm just lining up here to see if I got the right part for this job. I got a screw or a support in the screw hole I got to get rid of. Cool. Okay, now this hex nut goes in there, and a hex nut goes into each side of this. Let's see if the OBS OBSBot won't be a better angle on this. Bloop. Okay. Put a couple of hex into the side of this. M3 nuts. Maybe I should refer to the instructions. I don't think the instructions are going to break this down. I could also look at the CAD. Front motor mounts. Oh, the instructions fully refer to a video. Well, what the heck? The instructions show, or the video shows an instruction manual. Where's the instruction manual, Simon? All right. Pre-installed gantry parts, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah, and like the page that's supposed to tell you what parts to replace doesn't have anything there. Okay, this is what I need. I just need to be sure what direction, like what orientation this piece goes in. So this is the piece we're working on right now. It looks like I want screw hole up, or the hex insert hole up. Get these inserts in where they need to be and lined up. That looks good. That looks good. What just fell out? It's the hexes want to keep falling out. Okay. These ones just have to go in a little deeper. Great. Now, motors. Well, motors in position. See, they show putting this plate in the frame before putting the motor in. I guess maybe I should do that. Oh, I also have to slide in some inserts, M4 roll in through there. Maybe I'll just follow the instructions the way they are laid out. A little annoying, but let's get the frame back up here. Let's get the frame back up here. All right, I'm gonna set these aside so I don't misplace parts. Here's my new parts. My old parts. I don't think this is from the kit. That bit is mine for my LTT precision screwdriver. LTT precision screwdriver available on the lttstore.com. Not sponsored, but if I want to work with them on anything. So. And of course the custom purple for my Mandicrilli branding, and actually also is laser etched. It says Mandicrilli. I wish that was like an option they offered, but they just sent me that. I don't believe that is an option that they offer to folks. Bought one Friday because you said you liked it so much. Love to hear that. Don't have any affiliate link or anything, but I appreciate. I legitimately really do like this thing very much. So I have a iFixit kit and the LTT one. I prefer the LTT one. Okay, let's try get the OBSBot angle maybe. I think this is better for close-ups. What I'm doing. Okay. Now I've got to get this motor, this plate here. And tighten that screw. Wrong size. I need 2.5 just to hold this in place for the moment. Okay. Now this, keep dropping hex nuts out of it. Where did I just drop a hex nut to? Well, it's just an M3 hex. It literally under my bench is a whole thing of M3 hex, so I'll just grab another one. Just grab another one. Okay. Is this the right one? No. It's not the one I actually need right now. I need the other one. I think I need the other one. So I got to take the hexes out of this anyway. Well. I need this one that I haven't removed supports from yet. Right. How's it going? It has been an adventure, but it's going. It's definitely a very 3 steps forward, 2 steps back project. But welcome in, Inexpensive Prince. Are you planning consistent stream times? Consistent streams from here forward. My goal, and I sure hope I can stick to it, but the goal is Thursdays at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and Sundays at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Those are the consistent planned streams as of right now. All right, whatever. I just got to get another M3 hex to replace the one I dropped. Yeah, those are the current plans. I actually may stream a couple of random days this week on this because I really want to get this project done. The reason I started this project right here, the VZ-bot, is I need a win. Is like, you know, I'm just kind of in this like discouraged point with my Voron, where it's not far from being done, but it's like just annoying enough to get it finished that I'm just like, I want to be done with this. And so I kind of just need a win. I just need something I can like get done. So that's the goal with this, is to just be finished. Have something I can throw together and have a win. So I really want to get this done ASAP, but we shall see how that goes. Grab another M4. And you pick the VZ-bot. Yeah, I know. I don't mean like tuned in done. I definitely don't mean like so, you know, totally tuned in, ready to roll. Dang it! These hex keep falling out of here. Okay. Boop, boop. Okay. Back to tail air. I start to be consistent. Well, not this week. Look, it'll still be Thursday, Sunday. I just mean there might be some additionals within there, is what I mean. Okay, so now there's 2 screws that come from underneath to hold this piece in, this plastic black piece. I need a dab of Loctite. Oh, that's lovely. The hex is spinning. Hold that with a flathead. I don't know why the hex is spinning, but the hex is spinning. Don't know why that just happened, but here we are. I have to fully disassemble all of this anyway. Ugh. I don't know why these corners are spinning. These hexes are spinning inside of here. 100,000% can relate to needing a win. Built what I thought would be a sick trident build with a heated chamber, but it's at the tuning part and discouraged with quality of the prints. That sucks. That sucks. I hear you. I definitely hear you on that. Okay, now I need M4 roll-in. Yeah, M4 roll-in. Where'd I put that hardware box? There it is. Elastic nuts. Okay, sure. Spring-loaded, elastic. Sure, same difference. Okay, this has got to roll into this side. So I can put a screw through here to it. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. This roll-in's not happy. Please don't tell me all the roll-ins in this build are going to be this way. There we go. Okay. Now, my favorite way to line up roll-ins. Slide a hex wrench through it. Bump it down till it bumps into the roll-in. Pull back the hex wrench till I'm just past the roll-in. Push it down till the hex wrench falls into the hole. Boom. Lined up. Okay, what size screw? M4 by 40. And yep, all the roll-ins are like that. Lovely. Yeah, well, okay. This is the difference between Voron and VZ-Bot, where people have spent time going over and over how to build. Yeah, these little details are always going to be... I get that. I get that. The picture shows M440 socket head screws, but I've got button head. Hope I'm not using the wrong screws in the wrong place. Dab of Loctite. Little dab will do ya. And through there you go. I think that should be 2.5. Cool. All right, I can loosen that up a little bit. So that's tying this all to this extrusion through this mount. Extrusions. So like that's the screw I just installed there. I've got these two in, I got this, there's two screws in the bottom of that. Yeah, there you can kind of see them. I think I can. Is that tight? I don't think it is. Yeah, okay. Okay, now I can do the top plate, I guess. Yeah, it has me put the top plate on so then I can sandwich in between. I can do that. Is this angle going to be any better? Not really. What, no benchy yet? Yeah, Andrew, thanks. Let me adjust this real quick. Okay. Camera angle switch. Bloop. It's a little dark. Okay, especially black and black and black. I don't know why I printed these in black. I should have printed them in red. Oh well. Oh well. These out of this motor plate. There's a pair of hammer heads that go into this extrusion. Oh well. Should have printed those in red, but I didn't. What's your favorite printer to build? Probably Zero. I guess a Voron Zero. I almost do that by like the back of my hand. The only thing I don't know offhand is like the measurements on a V0 at this point. Okay, now I just did that. Oh, I got to put these M3s in here. These come down in here. That's spinning too. I don't know what's up with these spinning. They're not like these hexes aren't, hex screws aren't finding their home particularly nicely. Or their home has a little too much clearance inside of it so that they can just spin. Usually when you build in hexes, it's a tighter fit and they don't have any room to spin on you. Not these ones. These ones have room to spin. Could be the print orientation that I did. It does do belt tensioning by moving the motors. Yes, you slide the front motors back and forth to do belt tensioning. Yes. Ball hex got stuck. Okay. Now I get 2 more spacer adapter pieces. These 2. So this one goes to the frame rail, it looks like. Yeah, this one goes toward the frame rail. And this drops down through it. Don't love that. Yeah, well, that's kind of a reality with all-wheel drive setups. It's pretty much the way it is. I would say because there's probably just not that much other option. Like, there's only so many places you can go with how you do belt tensioning on this setup. To that or tool head, realistically. And it's the same concept as like a Voron 2.4 or Trident using the idler, but instead you're using the entire motor, just sliding the motor, because the motor is the idler. Okay, motor comes in. Oh yeah, see, there's a tension plate knob. Huh, okay. So there's a, oh yeah, there is. Look at that. There's a little dimple dot there. There's a little hex. Okay, so that's how it tensions. There's a grub screw. I saw that in the hardware. There's some M4 grub screws, really long ones. So they go through this mount up here into this. And then that's how you tension off of, I guess. It's a little odd, but I guess I get it. Okay, so this needs to go up in here. Now, these M3 screws come down into that. What would you say is, what the least favorite printer? Oh. I have no idea. There's been plenty of printers I didn't care for. The worst printer I ever had was the Kingroon KP3S, I think. And it really just needed like better adjustment. Like the QC, the fit and finish on the parts was just terrible. Harder to really fine tune compared to moving an idler. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Okay, I'm sliding this all the way, so I'm maxing out the belt tension, or minimizing belt tension. I've slid this all the way this way. I'm just going to quickly give it a little loose tighten. A loose tighten. Just to get it where I want it. There's not really anything that keeps this spacer piece here. Like, the way this is lined up is literally I just had to line it up. There's not really anything keeping that in its position long term. I mean, sandwiching between here. It's not going to go anywhere, but there's nothing that lines it up. Like it could use just a little lip that hangs over here or something to keep it aligned. And that grub screw piece goes in the front of this motor. Not entirely sure I understand this at the moment. This grub screw piece butts into this. Oh, the tensioner knob and plate will be installed later. That's why I don't understand it. Because we're installing that later. There's a plate that goes on this and a tensioner knob. So, okay, that's what I'm missing. That makes more sense now. All right, and there's one more screw to tighten underneath. Boy, that's going to be a bear to get to. So I'm going to have to loosen this screw to let the motor plate slide. Yeah, it goes on the other side of the panel. That makes sense. But you got to get to this screw in here. The electrical connector's right here. So I'm going to have to get past the wires. The panel is going to be right here. So I got to get up into this little 20 millimeter gap with a wrench to loosen this later. Past the motor connector. Boy, that is not amazing. All right, I can tighten these now. Cool. Do wish I printed these parts in red. I don't know why I didn't. I think I was looking at the CAD model, and the CAD model had them black. And I think that's how I decided what colors were going to be what. And I only slightly deviated from that here and there. Oh well. All right. Now this corner's back together in position. Our frame is built. I think this might be where we're going to call it for today. I'm still going to work on this a little bit. I'm going to replace the other side piece here. You know what should I do? There's only one standoff back here I got to replace. Let's do that real quick. There's one standoff in this back corner I've got to replace. Let's do that. And then I'm just going to do the other side off stream because it's second verse, same as the first, you know? But I do want to show at least doing one side. Adjust the angle of the ob spot. Yeah, this spacer right here I want to replace. Oh yeah, the screw's loose. Which it's meant to be replaced. Oh, now the core one's finished. How many hours do you have? Okay, good question. Printer statistics. Print time. 4 days, 4 hours. So what is that? 100 hours. Literally exactly 100 hours. I have exactly 100 hours on the Core 1 right now. Where's a spacer piece that's supposed to go in here? There it is. Have exactly 100 hours on the Core 1. A little bit of brim to pull off of this. Boy, the one that came out of here was a looser fit than this one. All right. Boy, that's an easy part to replace. Okay, a little Loctite on this. And down through there you go. All right, cool. This my 2mm and my 2.5mm hex wrenches are getting a little worn out from use because, of course, they are my most used sizes. I think it's about time to retire them and get some new ones. All right, that's super easy. I got to do the same thing on the other side with that piece, and I got to rebuild the other side front idler. This one, which has the red pieces in it. Currently. Should I reprint those in red? I probably should. I wonder if anybody's tried a spring and idler based tensioner like a serpentine belt tensioner on a car. It's been tried, I believe. I think the problem is that it's not consistent. Like belt tension on an idler system, and part of what's good about it is, especially you watch an idler, you rev the engine, you'll see it like belt stretch, take up and change. And I think in our situation, we need consistency. I think that would lead to belt like print artifacts and stuff. Red and in the different orientation. Yeah, I think you're right. All right, I'm gonna preheat the Core 1 and find the filament and reprint those. But hey, we got them done on stream. I'll replace the rest of the parts, the printed parts, off stream. And then we may, I don't 100% know, I think I might pick up again with this tomorrow. I might. Undecided. I'll try my best to put out a notice as far in advance as I can. Like I said, I really want to get this done. So I might. Okay, folks, I think that's what we're going to call it for today. We got, I mean, hey, for 3 hours and 30 minutes, we've got the frame. I need to check square on it, double check square. We got the gantry in, and minus the X gantry. I think we did pretty well for 3.5 hours. So, especially with how much backwards we had to go. So, I know for a fact the next stream for certain will be Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's the definite next time, but I think I'm going to try and get at least one stream on this between here and there. I've also got to get started on next week's video for Mantic Really, so we'll see how much time I actually have. But for certain, we will be back on Thursday, and we'll be back on this on Thursday, whether or not I get another stream in between. So the rest of the work I'm going to do on my Voron, I'm going to do off stream, I think. So it's wiring, fiddly stuff. I'm going to try and include it in video, but yeah. So, all right, folks, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for pointing out the things I was screwing up when I was screwing them up. Appreciate it. All right, folks, I will catch you in the next one. Thanks everybody who super chatted, joined up as channel members, gifted channel memberships. I really appreciate it. Like I said, 2025 has been a hard start to the business year, but I appreciate the support you folks give. I will work on merch, and we will see about getting desk pads and t-shirts out to you folks, available for purchase in the very near future. Thank you for coming around. I will catch you all in the next one. It's time for me to go eat lunch and do some other work. So thank you, folks. Bye-bye. That's not what I wanted. I want to switch to this camera angle. Look at this thing. And that's going to be the outro. Bye-bye. None of the animals are in here right now. Bye.